Sonny Gray is working on a Cy Young season. The 25-year-old Tennessee native is becoming one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Currently, Sonny leads the majors in ERA. He is the ace of the Oakland staff, and each starter feeds off the success of Gray. Tonight, Sonny faces the Angels of Anaheim, a team that he has dominated this season. Gray is 3-0 versus the Halos and has allowed only 3 earned runs through 22 2/3 innings of work. Coming up, it's an AL West rivalry. Gray and the A's take on the Angels. Game 1 is next. Well, it's already been a good day in the East Bay as the entire Bay Area converged on downtown Oakland earlier today to celebrate the Golden State Warriors and their NBA championship. And maybe some of those folks headed from that to the Coliseum for tonight's game. That would be a basketball-baseball doubleheader. Not a bad idea. Sonny Gray is going to take them on tonight for the Athletics, and he will be opposed by Matt Shoemaker from the Angels. It's the Angels and the A's, first of 3 coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Sonny Gray will be making his 4th start against the Angels this year, and Ray, the Angels have not figured him out yet.
You know, you'd think they would, but the thing about Sonny Gray, which is so great, he has an assortment of pitches. If you're a hitter, you think, well, I have an idea what he's going to be doing. But Sonny Gray is so good at adapting. He can go to the slider, which he's starting to throw a lot more now. Sliders in the dirt, getting check swings. He'll also elevate a fastball, sneak that one inside, which he does there. He's just a great pitcher because he does make changes throughout his time on the mound, especially against a team, whether it's in the Western Division or the Eastern or wherever. He makes changes based on the team that he's facing, and I think that's what makes him a special pitcher.
Now, this year, the Angels have won 6 of the 10 games against the A's, and the middle of their lineup has been pretty tough on the Athletics. Trout, Pujols, and Calhoun, and 3 good hitters who at times have really hurt the A's.
Well, you look at the pitches. Fastball missed inside to Albert Pujols. That was against Graveman. That was it. The only run the Angels needed to beat the A's, 1-0, but the rest of the guys have done the damage as well. Mike Trout against Jesse Hahn did it here at the Coliseum. One of the few home runs that Jesse's given up this season because he's a sinker ball pitcher. That guy's special, and so is this guy. Cole Calhoun against Jesse Chavez. His first start down in Anaheim. 1 run earned, 2 runs, and 1 hit, and that was the hit. Unfortunately, the A's could not score in that game either.
All right, so Sonny Gray and Matt Shoemaker, a couple of right-handers. This is the 4th series of the year between these 2 AL West rivals, the A's and the Angels. Stick around. Lineups and first pitch from the O.co Coliseum when we come back.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to the Coliseum as the A's have taken the field, so we are just moments away from getting this three-game series between the A's and the Angels started. It's a beautiful night for baseball. Let's check the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. It's 67 degrees. And remember, tonight's game starting a half hour earlier. There'll be fireworks after the game. So there'll be a few more shadows to deal with. Actually, the right fielders will be in sunshine a little bit, maybe an inning or two longer than normal. So don't know that that'll necessarily be an issue, but it is a different start time. Let's look at the starting lineup for the Angels. Moves around a little bit with Efren Navarro leading things off. He's in left field. Cole Calhoun will hit second tonight. Mike Trout third. Albert Pujols fourth. David Freese is in the fifth spot. Struggling Eric Ibar is the shortstop. Johnny Giavotella is at second. Matt Joyce will DH. And Chris Iannetta is the catcher. So keep an eye on Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols.
Sonny Gray starting again for the Athletics, again against the Angels. His last start was against these Angels in Anaheim and picked up his 8th win. Of course, reduced the earned run average to 160 as he went 7 2/3. An unearned run in the game, did not walk a batter. 9 strikeouts at 100 pitches. So Sonny Gray trying to get the A's back on the winning track after losing the series finale, or at least the final game of the Padres yesterday. And of course, the first game of this weekend series, and with fireworks after the game, all white uniforms. That's a great formula for a win tonight.
Defensively for the Athletics, it'll be Zobrist in left, Burns in center, Reddick in right, Laurie, Simeon, Sogard, and Ike Davis is back. So it's good to have Ike Davis off the disabled list. He's in the lineup, and Stephen Vogt will do the catching. So we're set for baseball. There's that shadow. You see Sonny Gray will be throwing the pitch out of the sunshine, and it'll go from sunshine into shade. That makes it very tough for a hitter. It's not going to be that way very long, but it could be a advantage for Sonny Gray here in the first inning. And Efren Navarro swings at the first pitch, but anytime a baseball comes out of sunshine into shadow, that makes it tough for a hitter.
You know, I was surprised that I always thought right field was Sun field, but Josh Reddick, who's played out there enough, he said it's more in right center, which is a little bit shocking. But I guess as the sun starts to set and it goes that direction, but boy, it looks like in the shots that we have had, the great camera work, looking right into the sun, it looks like it's a little bit tough.
Jim Joyce is the crew chief, and he's calling balls and strikes tonight. Gibson, Siegel, and Hudson, the other three. Efren Navarro, big bouncer to second. Nice easy play for Sogard to start the game. 1 out. A's come in 29-40 as they ended up splitting that, or taking 3 out of 4, excuse me, in that series against the Padres. They had won 4 in a row, then they lost yesterday. So overall, they won 4 to their last 5. And I know that man would like to see this number improve. 12-19 at home. Yeah. Bob Melvin takes that home record very seriously, and it's been a little bit of a struggle for the A's this year in this ballpark, and it's not something we've been used to the last 3 years. But plenty of time for that to get better. The A's are 11.5 games behind the first place Astros in the AL West. Astros do not seem to want to slow down a whole lot. They have won 5 in a row. Bouncer over the mound. Simeon, who is playing to the right of second baseman, actually ranges over to the other side of second base, makes the play, and throws to first for the second out. He went over to his normal side of the bag.
Well, normal side, and also just a nice normal throw too, on the move and perfectly thrown to Ike Davis, about chest high. So Simeon continues to do a lot of work, which is always very difficult when you're in a major league season. You're halfway through, pretty close to halfway through, and he continues to get a lot of work. With Mike Gallagher and Ron Washington on his fielding, and with Andy Perino, and I know we're going to talk about the moves, but Andy Perino had been going in defensively, but with him being sent down, that's going to change. And I think it kind of been talked about that Marcus Semien was going to stay throughout the 9 innings anyway.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. .1-0 pitch to Trout is a bit high. 2-0 the count. So Ike Davis and Edward Mojica come off the disabled list, and Perino and Arnold Leone. Actually, Leone optioned to AAA. Andy Perino was designated for assignment.
Yeah, because he's out of options. Yeah, because he had to find room to put him on the roster when they brought him up.
So 3-0 now to Trout.
The old DFA. Figure if you go through waivers once, it's kind of unlikely that somebody's going to claim you the next time. And just one of the things about the option, Max Muncy thought he was going to be the one because he does have options. Muncy can play first and third and outfield, DH, left-handed bat.
3-0 pitch. Trout takes a strike. 3-1.
Maybe if Trout could have seen that ball better, he might have swung. And maybe just as you said, sun into the shadows. So Sonny gradually moving into the shade or the shadows, but still to be thrown out of the sun when it's going to be in the outfield.
And it may not seem like a big deal, but any little advantage that a pitcher has over a hitter is huge.
Well, and this is one. You could see the sun, then it goes to the shade and the shadows, and so a lot of things happening there. But I always think about the Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan. Any twilight game he's pitching, and you could never see him scare the living daylights out of him.
3-2 to Trout. Strike 3 call. So Trout called out on strikes. 3 up, 3 down inning for Sonny Gray. Bottom of the first coming up. No score. Put down the Angels in order in the top of the first. Burns, Vogt, Zobrist, Reddick, Butler, Davis, Laurie, Sogard, Semien. That's your lineup tonight for the Athletics.
Matt Shoemaker, like Sonny Gray, started against the A's last Sunday, and see the numbers for Matt Shoemaker. Maybe not as well as he did last year, but he had an unearned run. He also gave up a big hit to Max Muncy, and also when he left the game, lefty came in. The A's ended up scoring 3 in the crucial inning. But Matt Shoemaker, a good pitcher with assortment of pitches, including a fastball low 90s, good movement, curveball, slider, changeup. He's wearing his wedding band. Always interesting when I see players, because man, you get a hard shot back. Well, no, Landon Powell, catcher wore a wedding band. I mean, and I would say that I think it's great, but boy, you have a ball hit your hand, you may not get the ring off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first time I noticed that with Matt, but
I agree.
I'm sure his wife would understand. You know, it's a baseball game, and honey, you know, you take a line drive back in your glove and it just hits just right.
Well, I would agree with you. Well, it's like playing golf with the wedding ring. It's very difficult to do. Matt Shoemaker is going to give it a whirl tonight as he jumps ahead of Burns 0-2. Burns hitting .315, couple of home runs, 13 RBIs. And that one's chopped slowly down the third base line, but foul. So I was thinking yesterday,
don't do that.
I know. And then my smoke started to come out of my ears. I had to pull over.
And you were on radio. That was a simulcast.
So
on Comcast.
I have a player who reminds me of Billy Burns, and it just popped into my head because he used to play with the Indians. Miguel Delaunay.
Oh, wow.
What do you think? Now, this is the 70s, early 80s, and I think he played with the A's for a little while.
Yeah, I take Billy.
No, I understand.
I understand. But the type of hitter.
The style.
Yeah. Slap and run like that.
That is what I'm talking about. Ibar, throw to first, not in time.
That's about, what, 17th? I know it's going to come up on the screen, but the unbelievable number of infield hits for Billy Burns in 17th. And Billy Butler's only 15 behind him, but this is exactly what he should be doing. And it's so tough on the infielders. Ibar made a great play. He's going to field this ball unbelievably there, and then he's going to throw quickly. First of all, to catch it was remarkable, but he had no chance to throw out Billy Burns.
It was a heck of a play.
It was. But you know, it's really each your own. You know, that's the style of hitter he is. Just he's running out of the batter's box from the left side as soon as he makes contact.
Keep it out of the air. He does a pretty good job.
Absolutely.
Here's Vogt. Burns dives back. So you're not 100% crazy about my comparison.
No, but I like it. I like this. You know,
yeah, he was not a great player, but he did the exact same stuff Burns does.
The same style of hitter, but I think Billy Burns' career is going to be just a little bit better than Miguel Delaunay. Nothing against Miguel, but
just slap at it.
Yep, and go. I mean, really, Alfredo Griffin, longtime coach for Mike Socha. He's at first base. Of course, not there right now, but Griff was like that. You know, hit from the left side. He could slap the ball and just use the great speed. There is Alfredo Griffin, a former Athletic, Rookie of the Year, co-Rookie of the Year. So good infield coach. And been with Mike Socha for a very long time, as long as he's been with the Angels for sure.
Billy Burns is 13 for 16 in stolen bases this year.
You know, the sun's in his face too, Cap, and that's where you have the pitcher in the shade now. And you know, maybe he recognized the pitch out. That's pretty good job by Billy Burns. But when you're at first base, and as a first baseman or a runner, you got the sun in your eyes. And now you have to try to peek under the bill of your cap. And that man right there is making the call. Mike Socha's 16th season. Great catcher with the Dodgers.
Well, 1-0 is the count, and Burns bluffs, doesn't go, and the pitch is a little bit outside. The stolen base leaders in the American League. Altuve has 17. Gardner from the Yankees has 15. Ellsbury and Rajai Davis with 14, and then Billy Burns with 13. And Burns runs, pitches inside, juggled by the catcher, and that's another stolen base. Number 14 for Burns.
And Billy did not know if there was a throw or not. And Iannetta could not transfer, and he looked initially and then went on the headlong dive. And Cap, I think what is happening is almost like a broad jumper, knowing where, as he's running, where to step and jump. And it looks like Billy Burns has a visual of where he wants to start his head first dive, so he does not overslide the bag.
So now a runner at second, nobody out. The count is 3-0 to Vogt. Missed outside, and it's a walk.
Billy Burns, it's like 1, 2, 3, go. I mean, he is headlong, just like catching balls in center field, but he slides, grabs the bag with his left hand, keeps the left hand on the bag, and Ibar dinking him because made it look like Ibar was going to chase the baseball that was never thrown.
Ray, when you were catching, did you have a tendency, if you knew a guy was a very fast, of trying to rush a little bit?
Absolutely.
Because that's maybe what happened with Iannetta, juggle the ball, and another advantage for a guy like Billy Burns.
No, and that's what, you know, he's such a young player and so many things that he's trying to learn at such a really a quick age. Even switch hitting, he started hitting left-handed late. But Mike Scioscia knows with the speed that he has had on his clubs what speed can do to the opposition, and he's watching right now. But as a catcher himself, Scioscia knew that if there was somebody on base and your footwork, everything, you speed it up. And especially the transfer. If you don't make the transfer from the glove, the ball into your hand, you have no chance. And yesterday, Fagley double clutch because he didn't have the grip through the wrong center field.
So now Shoemaker having trouble throwing strikes. 1-0 the count to Zobrist with Reddick in the on-deck circle. Pitch to Zobrist is low. Now there's a little shift on. Ibar, the shortstop, is slid over towards second base. And I bring that up because Freese, the third baseman, is a long ways away from third base, and to be able to beat Billy Burns there and try to catch a throw from the catcher, very difficult for the third baseman Freese.
I think Ineto has it planned to throw to second if Vogt is the trailing runner, and he goes also. And that would be the key because Pujols is playing very deep behind Stephen Vogt. So if Burns does run, he has the green light. It's not necessary, or really it's really not important. Stephen Vogt does not have a jump because he has a feeling himself that he's going to be the one that Iannetta tries to throw out, because I don't even think Iannetta would throw to third if he tried to steal.
2-0 pitch to Zobrist is belted to right. Calhoun's back, and that baby's gone. A 3-run homer by Zobrist here in the first, and the A's lead 3-0.
Surgery, and as Bob Mumma said, it's hard because he's swinging the bat so well, and he does it again. And really an important member of this A's surge right now scoring runs is Ben Zobrist. And really you can thank one guy, Billy Burns. That inning, or this half inning already, has been a result of the speed of Billy Burns. Stephen Vogt did not get a pitch to swing at, and Ben Zobrist, a quality hitter, takes a 2-0 fastball and crushes it.
Excuse me, Ray. 14th home run allowed by Shoemaker. That is a huge amount.
Well, considering where he was last year, but this is a 2-0 fastball right down the middle. And Ben Zobrist gently lays his bat down and takes a turnaround and hit right up on top of the out-of-town scoreboard. But a great swing by Ben Zobrist. And he has had some big home runs. Going back to opening night, his first at bat at the Grand Slam in Detroit, the 2-run home run San Diego, and a big 3-run home run in the first inning tonight. His first 3-run home run, so he's got the 3-run, the slams, he's got them all going now.
So 2-2 the count to Reddick.
But back to your point about the speed of Billy Burns, and not only stealing a base, but I think of the great Ricky Henderson, the havoc that he could cause just being on the bases.
Giovitella charges, flips to first. Reddick is retired. Yeah, you're right. There's no way for you to know how much effect Burns had on the hitters coming up after him after he was at first base, but it's very possible that it did have an effect.
Well, just watching Shoemaker, the second pitch he threw to Zobrist, he didn't even look back to second. He was concentrating so much on throwing a strike that he didn't look back and threw ball 2, and then threw a pitch right down the middle for the 3-run home run. So a great start for the A's, and starts with an infield hit by Billy Burns.
So here's Butler hitting in the 5th spot tonight, 256 with 5 home runs and 32 RBIs. That one low, and now it's 2-0. So Shoemaker, who has not pitched well against the A's this year, and this is his 4th start, is in trouble already here in the first inning, down 3-0. There's a strike at the knees. In his 3 starts, he's given up 5 earned runs in 3 innings, 3 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings, and 3 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings again. So not great numbers for Shoemaker, and it's 2 losses and a no decision in those first 3 starts. Two pitch, grounded towards short. Ibar, a couple steps to his right, straightens up, throws in time, and that's the second out. So Butler grounds to short, and that'll bring up Ike Davis, who's back from the disabled list. He had 5 games in his rehab assignment for AAA Nashville. Had 21 at-bats in those games. It was a strained left quad. Happened on the 14th of May. So a little over a month out. But, you know, Vogt played a little bit more at first base. Canna and Muncy both really did a nice job. So the A's, with pretty good depth, were able to weather the storm while Ike Davis was out.
And he took a full complement of games at the minor league level in his rehab. Took his time, and of course, anytime you have an injury to the lower extremities, you want to make sure you're 100% when you come back, and plus you get some quality at bats against some very good pitchers at the minor league level. And the good thing about Ike Davis, he can pick it at first base, and that really makes a huge difference for the infielders.
3-0 pitch, called the strike. 25 pitches here in the first inning for Shoemaker, and Zobrist with a 3-run homer.
You saw the other night when against Despaigne that Billy Butler hit a 3-run home run in the 4-run inning, helped Jesse Chavez turn out to pick up the win and got the A's started, and the same for Ben Zobrist tonight.
So full count. And here is the payoff pitch, grounded left side. Freeze has it. Side retired. Ben Zobrist, a 3-run homer after a Burns single and a Vogt walk. So the A's jump ahead 3-0 after 1. T-Mobile game changer Tuesday. Albert Pujols against the Diamondbacks in Anaheim. Home run number 539. He is now 9 behind Mike Schmidt for 15th on the all-time home run list. So Albert Pujols having a great year. In fact, he leads the major leagues in home runs with 19. Looks healthy to me.
Boy, doesn't it?
Huh? And I know, Ray, you feel like his ability to play first base probably helps him.
Well, Billy Butler said it, so you know Albert Pujols has to be thinking as well. And remember, for what, 11 years with the Cardinals, he played first base every day because of no DH, or unless maybe at American League Parks he might DH. But I know Billy Butler said it when he played last year with Kansas City when Hosmer was on the disabled list. He said he felt he was a better player. You don't think about your hitting as much as a DH because that's all you do. And Albert Pujols is, well, he may not get a Gold Glover anymore, but he's still a very good first baseman.
So Schmidt next, and then after Mike Schmidt, Manny Ramirez at 555. So Pujols 16 behind Manny Ramirez, so he could get there this year. Reggie Jackson at 563, number 13 on the list. 1-2 pitch, reach for it, rolls at 5.
Now there's the pitch, the slider we've talked about, and of course it goes down hard like a split finger fastball. And as much as Sonny Gray has pitched against the Angels, while they know that is the pitch that he will throw and throw successfully, doesn't mean they're still going to hit it. And that pitch that time, it was Albert Pujols really getting another swing simply because he fouled off a pretty tough pitch.
Another 1-2 from Sonny Gray. Lays off this. 2-2 the count. Pujols, Freese, and Ibar here in the top of the second. Ben Zobrist with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the first for the A's 3-0 lead. Hits this one high in the air, right center, but playable. Reddick's under it. He's got it, and that's the first down. So Albert Pujols on the active hit leaders list is 4th, but look who's first.
Yeah.
Alex Rodriguez, and he got that 3,000th hit tonight at Yankee Stadium in the very first inning, and it was a home run off Justin Verlander. How about that? So he did it in style.
I think back to Wade Boggs when he played for Tampa Bay. Derek Jeter got his 3,000th with a home run at Yankee Stadium, and Alex tonight.
So Alex Rodriguez becomes the 29th player in Major League Baseball history to have 3,000 hits. So it was a home run. It went into the seats, and I've just been reading a little bit right before our game that the gentleman who caught it at Yankee Stadium says, "I got no desire to give this baseball up. I'm keeping it." So that should be interesting. He's either driving a hard bargain or he really says, "No, I'm keeping it. I really am going to keep it." But it went into the right field seats at Yankee Stadium. So A-Rod went to that short porch and right for the home run and career hit number 3,000.
Well, you think to the time that Alex Rodriguez signed a huge contract with the Rangers, and everybody knows that in left field at the Rangers ballpark it's hard to hit a home run. So what did Alex do? He changed his stroke to go to the outfield, to the right side, where the ball carried a lot better at the Rangers ballpark. So I'm not surprised that he would go to the shorter distance in Yankee Stadium if the pitch is out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that he has adapted, adjusted his swing where he's played.
Well, that home run was career home run number 667 for Alex Rodriguez. So he's really having a pretty good year.
Probably a huge surprise. I know George Girardi talked about how surprised he was, but he's having a very good year, and the Yankees very happy that he is.
And the Yankees 1 game back in the AL East, trailing the very hot Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays are in first place in the East. Payoff pitch to Freese outside, and Sonny not happy. Sonny Gray generally does not show a whole lot of emotion on the mound. He was a little ticked off after walking Freese. He's not a guy who walks a lot of people.
He just overthrew a fastball and trying to get a little bit extra on it. You have to be concerned about the Angels. They're not going to stand pat. They get runners on base who could steal. They're going to move. And what the A's need to do is just keep adding on. After scoring the 3 runs, that Shoemaker settled down, got 3 ground ball outs.
Here's Eric Ibar, who takes a strike in the outside corner.
Are we not hearing Jim Joyce tonight?
I don't hear Jim Joyce. That's a shame.
Are you going to hear it? Because usually on a called strike, you will hear him bellow out the strike. Let's see if we can hear him. Maybe the crowd is so excited, getting ready for the fireworks.
Well, we have microphones planted around the ballpark.
I think he goes to Matt Weiss, who handles the umpire's room, and says, just order me a big old bag of Ricola, because I got the next couple of days. Not going to say much. But Jim Joyce, one of the best and one of the class umpires, as you have noted, especially with the time in Detroit.
Ibar takes outside 2-1. Ibar, who over his career has always been tough on the Athletics, but he is really struggling right now. He's 1 for his last 27, and his average down to 246.
And when we saw him last weekend, he was leading off. He did not get on base that much.
And he chases what would have been ball 3, so the count now 2-2.
I hope he's not asking Jim Joyce if this was a strike, because that wasn't even close. It did say something to Jim Joyce.
Johnny Giavotella is in the on-deck circle. Ibar shoots one foul. Angels are 34-33, and they're 5.5 games back of the Astros in the West. They're 15-18 on the road. They just got done splitting a 4-game series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Another 2-2 to Ibar. Here it is, and it's bounced toward first. Davis picks it up and steps on the bag. He gets the out there. Freeze goes to second with 2 outs.
Guy Davis was thinking about throwing to second and then get back to first base, at least trying to get the lead runner, but just a little bit too quick as the ball was right to him. Start thinking what I'm going to do, but hit him in the heel of the glove and rolled back and get the one sure out, and that gives him 2. And trying to get the third out and get back in the dugout.
So Giavotella steps in. 271 with 3 home runs, 22 RBIs. Giavotella hitting in the 7th spot. First pitch is a fastball up and away. Now the Angels will get their shot at the first place Astros next week. After this series, the Angels will head home and they will host the Astros Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I'm sure they would like to have a little momentum going into that series at home. .1-0 pitch to Giavotella is a strike. The Astros are in Seattle tonight to open up the series against the Mariners, holding on to that 3.5 game lead over the Rangers, 5.5 over the Angels, 9.5 over the Mariners. So the Astros have won 5 in a row, and it'll be McCullers tonight against Elias. McCullers 3-1, Elias 3-4, and that's the first of a 3-game series up in Seattle.
I think the Mariners just Felix just pitched, so he's going to not pitch this series, but that's good because he gave up 8 runs in the 3rd of an inning against the Astros in Houston, so maybe he doesn't want to pitch against them. Kings Court will not be in session though for the weekend.
So 1-1 the count with Freeze at second. He had a 1-out walk. Setting up outside, and a breaking ball down and away. 2-1. Angels are 17-12 against the AL West. The A's are 14-21 against the AL West. So division records usually pretty important.
As many games as you play against each other, definitely.
Curve stays high, 3-1.
One thing about Giavotella, he may not be Howie Kendrick, but he has driven in some big runs, and you fall behind him, he is a different hitter. And he's found out about that in the first series down in Anaheim when he hit a 3-run home run. He's only hit a couple. Make it 3 now.
And that one a strike outside corner. Giovitella took 3 steps to first base. He'll head back. Sorry, Jim. Sonny Gray got a little break.
Now Mike Trout, when he struck out to end the first inning, he looked over to the on-deck hitter Albert Pujols. He said up, as he took what he thought was ball 4 with a high strike that was called by Jim Joyce. And Trout called out.
3-2 pitch, foul right side. Well, we've seen Jim Joyce enough. He's a very good umpire. He's also, I think, the kind of umpire who he would probably listen to a veteran hitter if they didn't agree with the call. For a little bit anyway.
Just don't show him up. No umpire likes to be shown up.
35 pitches already for Sonny Gray. Right past Matt Joyce in the on-deck circle. So good battle here between Gray and Giovitella.
Well, the A's only hope that Sonny Gray would be like Jesse Chavez, who has had a couple of tough first innings. He settled down and pitched extremely well. Sonny Gray maybe just trying to get the feel of his slider, his fastball. They're starting pitcher every 5th day. It's remarkable how well they do on a consistent basis.
Another 3-2, and that one just foul. Giovitella going with the pitch. An 8-pitch at bat. So Freese the lead at second, not being held on. Again foul down the right field line. Giovitella probably too close to take.
Home ready enough. Drew Pomeranz in April was a fastball inside. 3-run home run down the left field line. And this at bat, everything to him has been outside. And that's why I say the key is not fall behind him. And of course 3-2 the count. It's more in the favor of the hitter. And he's just trying to protect with everything outside. If they go inside, take a chance, because he'll probably just react if they do.
And that one's belted to left field. Zobrist on the move, still on the move. It's over his head. It bounces off the wall. Freese will come in to score, and Giovitella with an RBI double. And the Angels are on the board. So that's a heck of an at-bat.
Yeah, you could see the at-bat for Giovitella. I mean, it was basically, I mean, he might have swung the ball 4, but he took a pitch that he thought was strike, or a ball that was ended up being a strike, and then fouled off 4, and he gets a fastball, and he just changes his approach when he has the count where he can look fastball, and really you can't play him deep enough. And there's the walk that you go back to. Ike Davis was thinking about going to first, second base. How about that? It's a big season against the A's. Ike Davis, had he caught the ball, probably would have gotten Freese at second. Would not have turned the double play, but maybe Ibar in that case would not have scored from first base.
So Matt Joyce steps in, 189 with 4 home runs. Joyce is the DH tonight. And it's low, 2-0, and becoming a long inning for Sonny Gray.
You saw the reaction of the Angels dugout. Mike Scioscia, the manager, lead in the pack of cheering when Giovitella got the double. And I think the clubs know that Sonny Gray is good. And success he has had against the Angels has been unbelievable throughout his career. Tonight, though, it's been a struggle, especially in this inning. 11 pitches the first inning, including a strikeout, 2 ground ball outs.
2-0 pitch fouled straight back. So that was pitch number 31 in this inning. So after an 11 pitch first inning. Quick look at second, another look. And that one hit slowly right side. Sogard has it, flips to first, side retired. So Johnny Giavitello with an RBI double. So we're going to the bottom of the second. A's 3, Angels 1. Redwood. Why Redwood? Visit realstrongredwood.com. A's with a 3-1 lead over the Angels. Ben Zobrist had a 3-run homer in the first. Johnny Giavitello with an RBI double for the Angels in the second. So it'll be Laurie, Sogard, and Simeon against Matt Shoemaker. So Shoemaker will have a chance for a shutdown inning.
He had to feel pretty good about himself after he gave up the 3-run home run because he had 3 ground ball outs. And I think the reaction, the dugout of the Angels to get on the board, especially for Shoemaker, who gave up the 3. That's good stuff.
And Laurie shoots it into right field for a base hit. Seen a lot of this from Brett Laurie lately. Up the middle into right field.
No, that kind of pitch, a fastball outside, but it's got the swing. It's conducive to hit the ball outside to right field. And actually, a pitcher could say not a bad pitch, not a bad location, but the result was exactly what Brett Laurie had hoped. You know, one of the things that Adam Roden does so well, I mean, we've talked about Adam, how he puts together video, and just going by the video room and you can see guys in watching pitchers and how they have pitched against the hitters, and you see guys and they get an idea. Laurie was in there with Josh Reddick and then looking at just pitches. What is Matt Shoemaker? What has he been doing? And maybe they can pick up something and look for a pitch, get it, and maybe just watching what Adam had put together, that maybe Brett Laurie saw something they liked and helped him get a hit in his first at bat.
So 1-0 the count to Sogard. So you're saying they may not just be looking at their at-bats against that guy. They may be looking at, who knows, maybe other guys' at-bats against him.
Exactly. What's his pattern? Does he develop a pattern? What does Chris Iannetta do? You know, Darren Bush looks at a lot of video as well. But it's amazing that Adam Roden's responsibility. He is basically the challenger, if you will. He can watch all the monitors in the event they want to challenge a play, and then also put together all the videos. I mean, he spends a lot of time doing it, but it's definitely beneficial to whether it's Kurt Young or the pitchers, Aaron Bush, the hitters, and everybody. And I mean, there is so much information. It makes you wonder what the Cardinals were doing.
What were they doing?
Exactly. I mean, there's so much out there anyway. How much more do they want?
Sounds like somebody had a little axe to grind. That's what it sounded.
Well, the owner of the Cardinals wasn't pleased. You know that, Mr. DeWitt.
Sogard toward Giovitella, who ranges far to his left. Thought about second, but instead probably does the right thing and goes to first to get the out there. Laurie had second one out, so the A's have a chance to get another one.
Ibar just yelled over to Jim and said, thank you, because I had this guy coming in hard on me, and there's the look. And you're right, it was going to be a close play at second had he decided to go that direction to get the lead runner. So better to get the one out. This would help the A's or help the Angels when they could not get the lead runner at second.
So one away for Semien. Semien hitting in the 9th spot, 272 with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. First pitch is a fastball at 89 miles an hour in for a strike. You think about Marcus Semien batting in the 9th spot. Slider away. I mean, Billy Burns is locked into that leadoff spot, and then you got, you know, your top hitters, Vogt and Zobrist and Reddick and Buller. Marcus Semien could be very dangerous at the bottom of the line.
That's right.
Whether it be 8 or 9, I mean, he's got enough power. I mean, he can do a lot of things offensively. He can steal you a base.
Well, the speed is factored into that, just like you said, with all the other things he can do. So speed at the bottom, the top. This is what he did on April the 20th, and no one curveball, and this may be something that Matt Shoemaker remembered. Curveball down the left field line. That's one of the 14 home runs, the 2 in the same game. Vogt and then Semien. That made it a 5-3 game, which is a big run for the Athletics. Big insurance run. That was a curveball that stayed right towards the middle of the plate.
Giovitella trying to hold Laurie, and the pitch is hit high in the air. Calhoun ranging toward the line. He's got it. Laurie will tag. He'll try for third, and he'll make it. So Laurie now at third with 2 outs.
Well, Calhoun has a strong arm. Laurie knows it, so he's busted it all the way to third base. And I don't think he ever half steps anything. I think, and that's a big 90 feet. If you think about Billy Burns coming up and what he did his first at bat, you think, well, don't tag, stay at second. Then an infield hit for Billy Burns, who has 17. You don't score a run. Now he's at third. Infield's going to have to play him in, and of course, you don't have to worry about going on contact because there are 2 outs. He's going to go anyway. And you have to worry about the speed of Billy Burns.
First pitch is a strike. So getting to third, even though there's 2 outs now, much more important when Burns is batting than it is with another hitter.
Yeah. You always think of other possibilities with other guys, but with Billy Burns, he adds another dimension with his speed that really changes everything on the infield. They're playing in kind of halfway, like it's a double play or going for the plate.
Yeah, how many hitters do you actually seriously say you have to watch the infield hit?
That's right.
Very
exactly.
few.
Yeah. I mean,
they say you got to watch the bunt, but we're talking about the infield hit.
Yeah, there's a handful, and that's about it. Maybe in all of baseball. We don't know that much about the National League. We do know Ichiro's with the Marlins now, and he's still a threat with the infield. I mean, the shortstop had to play almost like halfway when Ichiro was hitting, and Ibar typically in this case would be back on the grass, but he has to cheat in a little bit of short.
This could be it. Ibar throw to first, not in time, and there is your infield hit. And Laurie comes in to score. So, how about that? It worked, and the aggressive base running by Laurie helps out, and it's 4-1.
And Mike Socia said, "You got to be kidding me." And basically, he just he did keep the top hand on, but this ball to the right of Ibar, all he has to do is take that step. He's got no chance at that point. And he knows it, throws off line. And Shoemaker, really, I mean, what can he do? He throws a pitch that's down low for normal guys. Maybe even wouldn't he swing at it, but Billy Burns knows that all he has to do is slap at it and go for it. Now he's a threat to steal to get in scoring position himself. He's fun to watch.
Yes, he is.
So 2 hits, both on the infield, both to shortstop. 2 very good plays by Ibar. Neither time did he have a chance to throw him out.
So Vogt is the hitter. Burns stole the bag in the first inning. Vogt walked and scored in the first, and they keep a very close eye on Burns.
Tolero just passed along a note. 26 infield hits by D. Gordon. Of course, traded from the Dodgers to, which I couldn't believe, traded to Marlins. He's got 26. He leads the league. And of course, you always think about Billy Hamilton in Cincinnati with his excellent speed. He just has 12. Wow. Thank you, Tolero.
Fouled straight back. And I'm looking up D. Gordon's total hits. He's got 99 hits this year. He's hitting 356.
Not even at the All-Star break, and the Dodgers traded him.
They being the Dodgers, grow to regret that deal. They got Howie Kendrick, but Howie Kendrick's free agent, and they may sign him. Who knows? But boy, D. Gordon, man.
But you just don't have the speed of D. Gordon, because that's a part of a game, the dynamic you can't just purchase. I mean, you've got it, and then you trade it. I mean, granted, they can hit home runs, but he can manufacture runs, and he can score runs that games that maybe you're facing a tough pitcher, yet he gets on, steals a base, infield hit. It's kind of like the Maury Wills when he was Koufax and Drysdale. Maury get on with a bunt base hit, infield hit, steal second, steal third, scoring a fly ball. Dodgers win 1-0.
That's right.
And that's it. But I mean, it's just hard to believe that a team would give up speed when they have it.
1-1 the count. And Burns not running, and it's a swing and a miss. I do not remember the Dodgers from the 60s, but what was the joke? It was, Koufax threw a shutout tonight. Did the Dodgers win?
Exactly.
Because they really did not score a lot of runs, but they had terrific pitching.
But Maury Wills, I mean, he, before Rickey Henderson, was the all-time base stealer, 100 easily. But I mean, that was that early part of the game where they concede a run, and maybe not even a base hit or a sac fly would score. Maybe just an infield in, figuring the club's going to score more runs, but that would be it. And you're facing a pretty dynamic 1-2 punch.
Maybe the greatest ever.
Koufax, Drysdale. Well, here's a pretty good pitch to run on. They had a pitch out, and of course the count, 2 strikes on board. He's going to have to swing if it's a strike.
Burns dives back. Burns' stolen base in the first inning was his 14th of the year. No secrets anymore about Billy Burns. Everybody's going to be keeping a close eye on him when he gets to first base. And he runs. And Vogt swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. So side retired, but Burns with an infield hit that scored Laurie. So we're on to the third. It's the A's 4 and the Angels 1.
Athletics.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote up to 35 times at athletics.com. Now, do we have a total Kansas City Royals?
I don't know. I don't know.
Stop looking.
I don't know what's going on there. Are the votes legal? Are they illegal?
I know. Well, you saw Josh Reddick, who's having a great year. We know Stephen Vogt is, and Sonny Gray, and your votes are important. They always are. But now in baseball, since that's the only way to vote for your all-star team, they're very important.
Here's Iannetta to lead it off. Swing and a miss. A little controversy surrounding some of the votes. Are they illegal? Was it 60 million votes could be possibly illegal votes, whatever illegal votes means. So a question maybe for the new commissioner. And the new baseball commissioner was here at the Coliseum earlier today, and he met with the media and talked about his new job.
It is a fantastic job. I have enjoyed, among the things I've enjoyed, being out visiting the clubs. You know, every time you go and visit a club, you learn something about what they're doing in that local market that is of use to you when you go to deal with an issue or visit the next club.
So Rob Manfred taking over for Bud Selig. And everybody who is around him said he is an extremely intelligent man and very, very sharp. So I think he'll do a good job.
He talked to the A's in spring training, and he said he wanted to talk to all 30 clubs, not necessarily visit each team. And he happened to be in the Bay Area, I understand, doing the conference, and he came over here because the Angels were in town and did not able to see them during spring training. But he had a chance to visit with the A's and the media and the Angels before the game and before they're in for batting practice.
This is Efren Navarro. And Navarro, a shot headed for the right field corner. So Navarro around first, headed for second, and he will make it with a one-out double. Now, we also talked with the commissioner about the A's stadium issue.
I think it's absolutely vital to the long-term health of this franchise that the A's get a new facility. It remains my goal and part of baseball's long-standing policy that we try to get that stadium built here in Oakland, where the A's have been and have their fan base.
So that's what he said about the ongoing stadium issue for the Athletics. Here's Calhoun, who takes a curveball outside. But there's some stuff on his plate, no doubt about that. You have a labor agreement that's up after 2016, right? After next year, which that's a huge deal.
Especially since there's been peace among the players and owners for about 20 years. And I think it's going to be the same. It'll be hard not to.
Well, he was a big part of that piece.
Yes, he was.
He was the right-hand man for Bud Selig, but when it came to the labor negotiations, he was a huge part of that.
Well, this is a conversation about, I just got crossed up. Are we okay on signs? Because Navarro's at second, and Stephen Vogt has been beaten up enough anyway. And then he's looking fastball, and he gets a curveball, and you could tell because he went up and came down. And thought about, well, maybe it was, now let's go talk about it. And that's always a good idea, especially if the runner in scoring position. You want to be on the same page. And it's always about a runner at second when you use more than one sign. Getting a sequence in which sign you're going to be using, and usually they're not very difficult anyway.
2-1 now to Cole Calhoun.
Now, along those lines, Mike Trout, a strikeout victim in the first inning. There aren't a lot of guys who at second base will look in and get the signs of a catcher and pass them on to the hitter. I mean, at one time, you had to worry about it because guys would do it. But I don't know that I've seen a lot of that lately.
It seems like an awful lot to do without breaking concentration of the hitter. And Batting average with runners on 171 for Sonny Gray against Sonny Gray.
And as a result of that, Cap, I think a lot of times it's usually a runner on second sign. So, I mean, you can, if you really wanted to be at second and pay attention, you might be able to do it. But I don't think guys do. Just, first of all, it's a long way to look. You have to have pretty good eyes. Let me get my binoculars out here so I can see what the catcher's doing.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out on that hard slider. And Calhoun chased it. And that is a tough pitch to lay off of.
Well, we do know that Navarro was not passing a sign along to him, because this is a pitch out of the strike zone, a pitch that if you know it's coming, you see it right there as a strike, and then Stephen Lowe has to block it with it in the dirt. And look at the pitcher by Calhoun, no stride, but strong young man, but could not make contact on a hard slider, and that is a tough pitch to lay off. Yep, how about that? He just showed it right there, straight down, and it's a slider.
And Trout rips one to right center. Burns on the move, and Burns makes the catch right near the warning track. Side retired. So Trout cannot get Navarro home, although he hit it right on the button. 4-1 A's as we go to the bottom of the third.
To the 21st at the A's new spring training facility in Mesa, Arizona. It is a beautiful facility. Get out of the stands and onto the field and create lasting memories with former A's greats. For more details, go to www.hendersonbaseball.com or call 509-993-7338. Fantasy Camp Baseball. January in Arizona at that nice park. It's beautiful.
Zobrist goes after the first pitch into the glove of Efren Navarro, and that's out number one.
Well, but the A's run in the second inning. This was after the Angels had scored a run. They felt very good getting back what they thought was in the game. Scoring the first run against Sonny Gray, made it 3-1. And the A's turned around and manufactured a run. Hit a 3-run home run in the first and manufactured a run in the second. Just aggressive base running by Brett Lawrie. Ran hard and got into scoring position, scored on an infield hit.
So Reddick steps in. Reddick grounded out to second. His first at bat.
Just keep his back healthy. Because for Brett Lawrie, that's the ongoing issue. And if he misses a game, it's usually because his back is stiffened up a little bit. But it's fun to watch him play when he's on the field.
Butler to follow here in the third. That one cued foul. Up in Seattle, George Springer led off that game for the Astros with his 11th home run of the year. But the Mariners came back and scored 2 in the bottom of the first. So Seattle 2, Houston 1 in the second.
It's a big series for the Mariners. They're 9.5 out, and they have a chance to improve in their standings. I think from the A standpoint, slow and steady. Just try to keep winning a series, try to play solid baseball.
More action for Navarro. So Reddick is retired, 2 outs. He's 11 games under 500, and this is game number 70, so plenty of baseball left. The Rangers won. They beat the White Sox 2-1 in Chicago. That was a Chris Sale start, and Rangers beat them. So the Rangers continue to play good baseball. They're now 37-31.
Had a rare loss last night, a walk-off balk.
Walk-off balk.
How about that?
Yeah, it was 0-0, bottom of the ninth at Dodger Stadium. Runner at third, 2 outs. And Keela, the right-hander, balked, and that was the ball game, just like that. Under the glove of Freese, and Butler has a 2-out single. I think Freese is trying to figure out how he did not make that play.
I think what we figured out with Billy Butler, when he makes contact with the ball on the ground, it takes off through the ground or through the infield, and it hit the dirt. And the Freese, who has good range, went down, and he didn't come close to it. But I think it's the acceleration of the ball hitting the ground and really taking off the topspin for Billy Butler. In that game, remember watching the movie Sandlot?
Yeah.
Guy gets at third, Dodgers. Steals home.
Yeah.
Kind of
Benny the Jet. Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
That's right.
Greatest baseball movie ever, Sandlot. And that's nothing against Field of Dreams or
no, it's a good one.
Major League, but Sandlot will take you right back to when you were a kid.
Baby Ruth, candy bar. That was good.
Well, every once in a while, one of my children will say to the other one, "You're killing me, Smalls." So they've seen that movie quite a few times.
And we saw him in Anaheim, the real guy. Not Smalls, but
the great Hambino.
He was the one that said, "You're killing me, Smalls."
Yeah.
Because Smalls is the guy that got a Babe Ruth baseball and won. Let's go hit it.
That he became a professional wrestler and went by the name the great Hambino. 2-1 to Davis. Curve stays high, and now it's 3-1.
Well, for a player who's been on the disabled list as Ike Davis was, he went on his rehab assignment, and he's been taking some curveballs from Matt Shoemaker quite nicely tonight. And that says a lot, because I think Ben Zober said it best when he walked 4 times in San Diego. Sometimes you have to get the walk to see the baseball. And came up with a big 2-run home run in San Diego, a 3-run home run tonight. So Ike Davis steady diet of curveballs tonight.
Rolls over on that one. Giovatello scoops, throws, side retired. A hit and a runner left, and we're through 3 at the Coliseum. It's the Athletics 4 and the Angels 1. brought to you by Casino Matrix, Silicon Valley's premier 24/7 entertainment destination. 4-1, the A's lead the Angels. It's the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Pujols, Freese, and Ibar against Sonny Gray. Sonny with a walk, 2 strikeouts. He's allowed a couple hits. He's thrown a lot of pitches. Averaging 18 per inning through the first 3 innings. First pitch is low to Pujols, who hit a fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning. We mentioned about Pujols in his home runs, where he is. He's also 29th on the all-time RBI list with 1,640, moving in on Tony Perez. Bounces this one. Laurie grabs it, and then it pops off his glove. And Pujols will be aboard. That's frustrating because you really had 2 guys who could both make the play, and it popped off the glove.
And for Marcus Semien, he's waiting for it. And that's the problem, because he's there, and of course Laurie cutting in front, and then see, he's moving, and that's always harder for someone's moving. For Semien in the outfield, of course, Pujols does not run fast, so even if Semien catches in the outfield grass, that could have been thrown out. And sometimes aggressiveness, you just have to know where the infielders are. We talk about first baseman, third baseman, same thing.
So here's Freese. So the air on Laurie, his 10th of the year.
Now, when you get Albert Pujols hit the ball on the ground at an infielder,
it's got to be an out.
It's got to be
every time.
See Ibar with Billy Butler running, Ibar taking his time. Same with Albert. I mean, he busted down the line, but legs just don't move as fast as they once did.
Freese takes low, 2-0. Freese walked and scored in the 2nd inning.
And for Sonny Gray, he's thrown a lot of pitches. A 3-pitch out. The first hit in this inning would have been great. Now he's pitching out of the stretch.
And that one right in there, first strike. Looked like Freese may have been taken all the way, 93 miles an hour. So 2-1 the count with Ibar to follow. After Ibar, it's Giovitella. Freese hits it right back up the middle, and that's a base hit to center field. Pujols to second, stops there, and the Angels got something going here in the 4th inning. Season breakdown for Sonny Gray. Usually when you go 4-2 and 1.92 ERA in your first 9 starts, the next part of the graphic would be that maybe you slow down a little bit. Sonny's actually gotten better. Look at his ERA in the last 5 starts, 1.04. That's how you get the best ERA in the major leagues, and that's what Sonny Gray has.
These are also games that even some of the greatest pitchers have to try to figure it out. And right now, Sonny Gray trying to figure it out. And look at that, 61 pitches with nobody out in the 4th inning. Yeah, there's a lot of pitches, and they're just, I mean, he's wanting for swing and misses. He's wanting the swing and misses with the slider. He got it from Calhoun last inning. But that's just a 2-strike pitch. Hitters almost are saying, I'm not going to swing at it. In that case of Ibar, he just took a pretty good slider that some guys would be swinging.
Ibar hits it hard towards Sogard. Sogard has it, throws to second, and Semien makes a heck of a play. So they get the out at second base. Runners now at the corners with 1 out, but it could have been worse.
Well, we saw Giovitella decide to go to first on a similar ball. This time actually even farther, and a pick by Semien at second. Outstanding play, because that could have been bases loaded, nobody out. Instead, Semien picks it with a backhand. Sogard jumping, throwing, and threw it down low. Semien with a backhand, and watch how quickly catches it. Protects the bag and gets out of the way of the hard slide by Freese going into second. So the A's still have a possibility of a double play.
And here's Giovitella. Giovitella, the RBI double in the second. And the fastball a bit outside. Giovitella 9 for 32 against the A's this year. 7 RBIs. A tough out.
Yep. Because he's gotten counts in his favor, and that's been the biggest difference in every one of those hits.
So a chance to come through against Sonny Gray. Slider away. Giovitella came over from the Royals in a trade in December for a right-handed pitcher by the name of Brian Broderick. There's about 3 or 4 guys fighting for that second base job in spring training. Giovitella won the job, and he's really done a nice job. From New Orleans.
I think I've heard them call him Johnny Baseball. So yeah, he's kind of in that baseball grinding mentality.
This one hit high in the air, right center. Pujols will tag. Reddick's got it. Here comes Pujols. He's coming home, and the throw will be cut off. It was up the first base line. Giovitella with a sacrifice fly, and it's now 4-2.
Well, that's the runner at third in Pujols, and Reddick thought he had a chance to throw him out, but all the while, pretty good base running by Ibar with the throw overthrowing the cutoff man. Then that allows Ibar to coast into second, also in score position. Pujols probably running a little bit better than what a lot of people expect.
No question.
And he's tagging, and he's going to test it anyway. And Reddick with a very strong throw up the line, no chance there, and Ibar not even drawing a throw to second base. So the air, it's an unearned run, but that's a big one.
Here's Matt Joyce, left-handed hitter. He grounded out to second in the second. And Joyce takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Joyce struggling this season. And he swings and misses. There's the hard slider from Gray.
I see that's the difference. Get ahead with the first pitch fastball for a strike, and then get the hitter a little bit anxious swinging at a pitch that's clearly a ball. And Stephen Vogt, his work cut out for him tonight, blocking those hard sliders. Not surprising that Sonny Gray has thrown a lot of wild pitches.
So 0-2. Ibar, lots of speed at second base. And a shot back to Sonny Gray, and he caught it. And that ball was headed into center field for what would have been a base hit, and Sonny Gray somehow, I don't know how, but he caught it. Goodness. inning. Check out Sonny Gray.
Falling off just a little bit to his left. And, you know, when you hear it splat like that, you get concerned. Fortunately, the splat was in his glove because that could have been serious. And it was going to be a base hit, considering as hard as it was hit and a little smile on his face. And see, now, if he's wearing a wedding band and he caught the ball like that.
You're on your own on this one. There's a shot, base hit. Stay hot. Good Lord. He's 2 for 2. He's with 6 hits.
You know, I'm trying to think, and maybe before this game is over, is Shoemaker, the off-speed pitch, and Brett Lawrie base hit on a fastball to right field. Off-speed pitch pulls it to left field. But there was somebody who had a wedding band tattooed to his finger.
I've seen that, yeah.
And I'm trying to remember who it was, but it was a baseball player. It was a player. And I can't remember it, but that would solve any problems.
Yeah, well, it would, yeah, or it could cause more problems.
I'll think about it and try to remember the name. I thought it was rather unique.
So Sogard to hit. Sogard grounded out in the second inning. Freeze on the grass at third. And this one's lifted towards center, right to Trout. Trout in a couple steps, and there's out number 1. So 1 away for Simeon.
And the Angels are fortunate to score a run after the Angels had added 1. And you just are concerned about the Angels because they find a way to score runs. And I don't know that they ever think that they were down big last Sunday. Of course, thanks to Max Muncy in the bottom part of the batting order. Ended up being an 8-1 A's victory last Sunday. There are not too many games that you don't get concerned going down to the end with an Angels team. And it seems like they find a way to make it close. 25 what?
528.
528.
25,528 tonight. With fireworks coming up after the game. This would have been the night of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, so we very much, and I mean very much, thank the Golden State Warriors for winning it in 6 games in Cleveland. I don't even know what would have happened here. It would have been completely crazy.
Yeah. Well, we congratulate and we thank.
That's exactly right.
The congratulations for sure, and boy, it was great to see the big turnout for the parade and celebration downtown Oakland.
0-2 pitch swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt by Marcus Semien. So that is out number 2, and here's our Ford right choice. Let's look back at what was a great day in Oakland earlier today. The Warriors celebrating their NBA championship right in downtown Oakland. The parade, a terrific celebration. Everybody had a good time, obviously. Draymond Green, from what we are told, was the star, kind of. So congratulations again to the NBA champ Golden State Warriors. They got a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Nice weather. Don't know what the estimated amount of people was, but those tough numbers to put together. Burns pops it up. Freeze a step into foul territory, has it, and the side is retired. So A's get a hit and nothing else, and we're on to the 5th. 4-2 A's over the Angels.
As we turn back the clock to 1965, Saturday, June the 27th, the then KC A's club featured Bert Campaneris and John Lumen Odom, who will both throw out the game's ceremonial first pitches. 20,000 fans will receive a Charlie O throwback T-shirt presented by Ross, which depicts the iconic A's mule mascot from the 60s and the 70s.
Top of the fifth, A's leading 4-2 over the Angels. Sonny Gray, who's worked hard tonight. 69 pitches so far, and the first pitch to Iannetta is a strike. As they said, Iannetta went around. Iannetta hit a fly ball to right field in the third. Yesterday during our simulcast, you made a good point, Ray, about this little stretch of games starting tonight against three good teams. Angels for 3, Rangers for 3, Royals for 3. So a good challenge for the A's. 9-game stretch. And there's different stretches throughout the season, but yeah, Rangers are playing great. Royals are having a terrific season. Simeon has it, throws to first, and Iannetta is retired. So the A's will head to Texas on Monday, and it'll be a 3-game series Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then back home for a nice long homestand. We really haven't had a long homestand yet, but we're going to get one. Royals for 3, then the Rockies for 3, and the Mariners for 4. So we're looking forward to that. A 10-game homestand. But before that, just a quick trip to Arlington.
And right after that homestand, it's on to New York and Cleveland right before the All-Star break. So 6 more games. He's going to Cleveland for the first time. They'll face the Yankees for the second time, and that will be the end of the regular season against New York. Did well against the Yankees here, winning 3 out of 4. There's only one Yankee Stadium.
1-1 the count to Efren Navarro, who has grounded out and doubled. Swing and a miss. Swung over top. Navarro getting a chance to play quite a bit. Angels really looking for an outfielder, somebody who could settle in and play left field on an everyday basis.
Some say the Angels say this young man should be given the opportunity. While he might not hit the home runs that Josh Hamilton was expected to hit playing left field for the Angels, but Navarro might be the type of player that they could utilize, as he is leading off now, hitting the lower part of the batting order. They've since the A's saw them last weekend and shifted the batting order around a little bit. Calhoun from 4th to 2nd, Trout from 2nd to 3rd, Pujols to 4th now.
And don't you think, Ray, like the course of a baseball season, maybe you spend the first couple months seeing, okay, what do we need?
Right.
And then maybe the next month and a half after that, do we have somebody in-house that can give us what we need? This is a case of the Angels saying, well, let's see if Navarro. Exactly. And then if we need somebody, let's go get somebody for the final 2 months. This one tapped. Fair. Nice play by Vogt, who kind of had to sneak around Navarro, and he grabbed the ball through to first, and Mike Socha hops out of the dugout.
Well, it looked like it hit behind the plate and then rolled out in front. Let's see. It's behind the plate. Stephen Vogt. But it doesn't matter if it hits behind the plate. It's where it ends up, and this ball hits behind. Top spin, takes it out in front. Stephen Vogt grabs it barehanded. And all Jim Joyce has to say is fair territory. And was it San Diego where there was a ball that we thought was foul, but this clearly looks like
it looked like when he grabbed it, he was in fair territory.
Way out in front, and actually avoided Navarro. So Stephen Vogt, an excellent play, hustling to get out because he did not want the ball to hit the ground and bounce back.
So that'll bring up Calhoun, 2 outs. Calhoun, a ground out and a strikeout. Takes a big rip, fouls it back to the screen. Calhoun this year against the Athletics is 12 for 41. But he's got 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. And this is the 11th game these two teams have played against each other.
And both home runs by Calhoun helped the Angels defeat the A's. The one against Chavez, a 2-run shot. And then, of course, the solo last weekend when the A's saw the Angels score 2 in the 8th inning. Trout and Calhoun.
Swing and a miss. 87 miles an hour. Calhoun missed it.
And after striking out in the 3rd inning, going back to dugout, shaking his head and pointing his finger straight down, indicating a hard slider disappearing. He might have been swinging at that pitch like he's going to get another one, and maybe even more so now with 2 strikes. Would he get a similar pitch that he struck out on his last at bat? See, Jim Joyce showing his veteran status as an umpire. As soon as he calls time, he sprints away from behind the plate, just in case pitcher releases the ball. That's why he's been around a long time.
Vogt sets up outside, and the pitch is low. 2-2 the count. Mariners still leading the Astros. It's now 3-1 in the 4th inning up in Seattle.
Sonny Gray shook off the slider. Stephen Vogt had called the slider 1 and 2. He shook it off, went to the fastball.
Calhoun takes it.
See the wiggle of the fingers, which would indicate a changeup. They take a chance to throw him the hard slider again, trying to maybe swing at a bad pitch.
Sonny Gray trying to have his second 3-up, 3-down inning. He had one in the very first. With Trout standing in the on-deck circle, it's always important to get Calhoun, who lifts one high and foul.
Well, this is a big blow. 2 home runs, and Calhoun knew he got it. Trout had hit one to tie it in the 8th inning, and then Calhoun, a couple of batters later, who has just missed one. Trout hit his way deep in center field, and Calhoun didn't miss his.
3-2, and is lined toward Burns in center. Burns backing up. He's got it. And the side is retired. So Sonny Gray gets the 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're going to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Vogt, Zobrist, and Reddick. A's leading 4-2. CSNCalifornia.com as our A's insider Joe Stiglitz provides wire-to-wire reporting of the A's 2015 season with breaking news, video, special features, and more. It's only on CSNCalifornia.com. So the A's leading 4-2, bottom of the fifth inning. Matt Shoemaker, after kind of a rough first inning, he has settled down. There's a Zobrist 3-run homer in that first inning. Vogt has walked and scored. He scored on the Zobrist homer, and he has struck out. Sinker on the outside corner for a strike. 67 pitches for Matt Shoemaker.
And he's not thrown many since the first inning, so definitely settled down. Sonny Gray actually is.
That one is belted to right field, headed for the corner. Calhoun into the corner, and that baby's gone. Vogt has homered his 13th of the year.
You can see the swing on the off-speed pitch and down the right field corner, 330 at the line. And Stephen Vogt have an all-star season. 13 and 48 off-speed. See ya. And I think Mr. Shoemaker knew it as he'd given up another one. Stephen Vogt stayed back with the bat and down the line just enough, and giving him 13.
So the A's now lead 5-2. 13 home runs and 48 RBIs for Vogt. Zobrist takes low, 1-1 the count.
But Stephen Vogt had talked about staying back and hit the grand slam. His last one was in San Diego. Got a fastball for the slam, and then to do this with a breaking ball, it's good.
Ibar, long run, cannot get it. Freeze was not going to get it.
Josh Phegley, the other A's catcher, hit a home run yesterday on a fastball. And Calhoun, no chance. And boy, it just got over the fence. And down the corner, that's the best place. That's smart hitting. That pitching, because you allow a home run down the corner, the shortest distance, Stephen Vogt will take it. So he walked in front of Ben Zobrist home run, and now it's a solo home run himself.
1-2 to Zobrist. Zobrist drills one to the gap, and nobody's going to get it. It one-hops the wall, and Ben Zobrist is hot. Got a homer and a double tonight. So that's great to see. More numbers for Stephen Vogt. Those are the numbers as a catcher. So 45 of his 48 RBIs have come when he's behind the dish doing the catching. All 13 of his home runs. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change, tune up, and repair experts.
Solar-powered gnome presented by Sungevity tomorrow against these Angels. Be one of the 15,000 fans to walk away with a gnome of the Athletics ace pitcher, where the ball really lights up from the solar panels built into the gnome. Get your tickets now by calling 877-493-BALL, or you can visit athletics.com/tickets. Beautiful day tomorrow. Expected weather outstanding. So hope to see you out here to get the gnome and watch the A's and the Angels play game 2 as the A's are leading 5-2. It seems like every time Shoemaker pitches, at least against the A's, Alvarez comes in relief, and that's what he did last Sunday. The A's got 3 consecutive hits against him as he makes the appearance against the A's again tonight. 54th appearance.
He was pitched last night, and Reddick out in front hooks one down the right field line. It's foul, and Giovatelli cannot quite get it.
Well, sometimes you talk about a pitcher following his catcher. Well, watch Inetta. Fastball, he wants it up. He gives the target up. That's where the pitch is. And the result's a double to left center and out of the game. So good job of hitting by Ben Zobrist, as Inetta wanted the elevated fastball. But Zobrist, like you said, is hot. And a 3-run home run. Shoemaker gave that up to him on a 2-0 fastball and leaves the game after throwing just 72 pitches, and actually settled down after the first inning with a 3-run home run. But leaves nonetheless.
He was so good last year, Ray. He was 16-4 last year, but he has not been able to come close to duplicating that this year. He's really struggled.
Well, you mentioned the number of home runs he's given up, and I'm sure over the course of a young season, you give up that many home runs and feeling every time you make a mistake, it results in a home run. And tonight, really, that 2-0 fastball to Zobrist after walking Vogt on 4 pitches, and then the off-speed pitch to Vogt. Sometimes you say, just every pitch I throw, just not maybe the right pitch, definitely not the right location. He's hot. Zobrist is hot. Billy Burns is hot next to him. Semien. So club's starting to put it together.
Reddick, big swing and a miss on a pitch that was on the inside part of the plate. So that's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Then that'll bring up Butler.
Fastball supposed to be away inside, turned out to be, but Josh Reddick trying to pull the ball to the right side. That's how far outside Inetta wanted it, and it ended up way inside.
Butler tonight has grounded out and singled. First pitch a strike. A couple more notes from that Rangers 2-1 win over the White Sox. The White Sox actually had a 1-0 lead going to the 9th inning, and the Rangers got a pinch hit 2-run single from Mitch Moreland, and that was the difference in the game.
Was it against Sale?
It was against Robertson, the closer. Sale pitched 8 innings. He left feeling pretty good. And speaking of Chris Sale, he had 14 strikeouts tonight, so he's got 5 consecutive games of 12 or more strikeouts.
I don't see how anybody hits him.
Yeah, I don't either, especially left-handed.
And I think that last year before, Donaldson beat him in back-to-back games, a grand slam in Chicago, and beat him here with a base hit or something in right field. But Sale is so good, so tough, especially on lefties.
I think you could say Chris Sale is as good as anybody in the American League.
Absolutely, I agree.
Just has not always got maybe the run support to really have one of those 18, 19, 20 win seasons, but no, he is filthy. But the Rangers come back and win it 2-1. Butler hits one high in the air toward Calhoun and right. Calhoun has it, and Zobrist takes a couple steps toward third and stays there. So 2 out.
And that's the reason right there why Josh Reddick was trying desperately to advance Zobrist to third, because Billy Butler is very good at driving in runs. Zobrist remains at second. Anytime we're looking for information, there's one guy that seems to always know. His name is Steve Vucinich. I was trying to think of the player who actually tattooed the wedding band on his fingers. Alan Embry.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the lefty.
You're right.
And Steve Vucinich, thank you. He's listening, and we appreciate it. And I knew it was a pitcher, and I just could not remember who. But Vuce knows everything.
That's right. It would have come to you at some point.
Yeah.
Probably you're driving home tonight. You would have thought about it.
Well, remember I said don't think. So that's true. We don't want to do that too much.
No. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
0-1 to Davis. Davis on the ground. Giovanella scoops it. Running short right field. Side retired. Steven Vogt, a home run, his 13th of the year. So as we head to the 6th inning, the A's now leading 5-2. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Prism. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Prism. Learn how at Prism.com. It's on Authentic Fan Friday. Every Friday home game here at the Coliseum. That's what it is. So that's section right above us. Good deals and you get goodies. We'll give you free stuff up there.
Strength and number T-shirts, huh?
I like it. The Warriors' motto this year, and it worked. It really worked. Trout, Pujols, and Freeze against Sonny Gray. Trout swings at a slider, and it's 0-2. Trout was struck out and hit a fly ball to center field.
He's had a 4-2 lead. Trout in the on-deck circle with Calhoun up with a count of 3-2. And look at Big Alex. That might have been a big one because Trout's always a threat, always a danger, and you're down by 2, and he's at the plate with a runner on.
Dory has it, throws quickly when they get Trout. So Trout is 0 for 3. And that'll bring up Pujols.
And that's the time to range and cut in front of a shortstop.
Number 5.
Softly, slowly hit ball, and Brett Lawrie, he has to charge. He has to get this, but has to throw as quickly as he did. You could see Simeon behind him, but Simeon catches it. He doesn't throw out the speedy Mike Trout. So Brett Lawrie that time ranged just right to his left, just correctly to his left.
So Pujols steps in for his third at bat. He's hit a fly ball to right field, and then he reached on an error in the 4th and scored. So that was an unearned run against Sonny Gray.
That's what he gave up in the start last Sunday against these Angels.
Sonny Gray off the mound, and that's the second out.
Well, ever since he had a ball smoked back at him that he caught falling down, he's retired every batter. I don't think he wants to have one of those hit in the first inning so he could retire every batter, but that was a scary shot that he was able to fall to his left and handle. But he's done a great job Now retiring 6 consecutive.
So with 2 outs, he'll face Freeze. And Freeze takes a strike on the outside corner. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts for Sonny Gray. Coming into this start, he's 5th in the American League in strikeouts, 4th in innings pitched, and of course 1st in ERA.
I wonder what it's going to be like for Sonny Gray when he makes future starts here at the Coliseum and he looks in, he doesn't see that Sonny Gray gnome giveaway, which is tomorrow. He won't see that anymore because they'll take it down. But it's been up there for a while, just to your left. Be a nice giveaway, especially for Sonny to be able to relax on a day after he hopes to get a win. There it is tomorrow, the giveaway. It really lights up.
The baseball lights up. It's going to light up your whole backyard, I'm telling you.
And you've got one already, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, you.
But it'll be out tomorrow night, lighting up my whole backyard. I can't wait. I told you, my other 2 gnomes, you know, Grant Balfour and Coco Crisp, and Coco's head fell off, and they got knocked over.
So if you get enough of the Sonny Gray gnomes, can you use them as driveway lights?
Sure.
You know,
line them up.
You put them down. You get a whole bunch of Sonny Grays down your driveway.
Sure.
That'd be perfect, huh? So when we see people standing in line,
I'm not going to do it.
Well, I'm not either.
I don't think you are, but you could.
But I'm just thinking, so if you see a lot of people getting the gnomes tomorrow, then they're going to say, let's all go to the game. We all get gnomes. I may become a decorator, you know, maybe a landscape architect or something.
But I think if one person gets that many gnomes, there's going to be some trouble outside.
That's right.
Davis may have a play near the seats, can't find it. Now he finds it, and he bangs into the side wall. Let's hope he's okay. You saw him kind of reach his hands out like, I don't see it, and then he saw it right at the last minute.
And you know, when you're a first baseman, you run that far and you put your hands up and you're telling everybody, I don't see it, and there's nobody can help you except the umpire, Greg Gibson, following. He said, I see it. But he saw it right at the last instant, and let's hope he's okay after banging into the sidewall.
Two pitch. Sogard out. Sogard sees it, and he grabs it. Side retired. So that's 8 in a row retired by Sonny Gray. So he's trying to get a win and then enjoy the Sonny Gray gnome tomorrow.
Driveway.
Show us your best swing.
Versus rewind. First inning, 2 on. Benzover's 2-0 fastball. His 4th home run. All big home runs for the A's. Multi-talented player. And Sonny Gray, high fastball to Mike Trout, striking him out. And how about this one? Ever since this happened, he is not allowed a base runner through 6 innings. And then Stephen Vogt, a curveball from Matt Shoemaker. A solo home run, and that's a score for the Athletics. Find out what's possible. AT&T call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So bottom of the 6th inning, Laurie, Sogard, and Simeon. Sonny with the clipboard.
And Stephen Vogt talking to the skipper, and maybe the skipper saying, how's he throwing? And you might be telling the skipper he's throwing better now than he threw all those pitches in the first couple of innings. And he has settled down as he's gone 6 strong innings, especially after the shot back up the middle. The good pitchers are able to figure out if they're doing something incorrectly or something to make a change to get them back on track, and Sonny seems to have done that. There it is. That's impressive. If you're going to get him, and we've talked about great pitchers like Felix Hernandez, you get him early, you better get him, because otherwise he settles down, and Sonny is in that category.
2-2 to Laurie, who has singled twice and scored a run. Laurie's average now up to 290. Swing and a miss. Jose Alvarez gets his 2nd strikeout. Alvarez came on with nobody out in the 5th inning.
And much better than what he did last Sunday when he came in to face Sogard, Folt, and Burns. Gave up 3 consecutive hits following Max Shoemaker. Did not retire batter.
So Sogard will hit. Mariners leading the Astros 3-1. That game now in the 5th inning up in Seattle. Yankees beat the Tigers 7-2. Of course, Alex Rodriguez getting his 3,000th career hit. It was a home run. Warren got the win. Verlander got the loss. Verlander gave up 6 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings. And there's a strike, and it's a quick 0-2 to Sogard.
Tigers have to be happy to have him back in the rotation.
As long as he pitches like he used to.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think there's a little bit of a stabilizing factor there, having him back. Blue Jays beat the Orioles 5-4, so the Blue Jays stay hot. They have won 14 out of their last 16. Of course, part of that was an 11-game winning streak, but Blue Jays win at home. Sogard is grounded out and flied out. And this one is popped just below us. Rays beat the Indians 4-1. Butler, Souza, and Cabrera home runs for the Rays. Carnes the winner, Carrasco the loser. The Rays are hot. They have won 7 out of their last 8. And they are holding down first place in the East. That's a pretty good story if you think about it. The Rays.
Yeah.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner.
Join the A's for Faith and Family Day Saturday, June the 27th. As a reminder, this is a little bit earlier than in the past. This popular post-game event features A's players sharing their testimonials, as well as a performance by the one and only Donnie Moore and the Radical Reality Team. That is something that you definitely want to see. And remember, you must purchase a special ticket to participate in the festivities. For more information, go to athletics.com/faith. And you want to see some guys break bricks, tear frying pans. I mean, they can do some unbelievable things, and led by Donnie Moore. And that's a great day, as always, here at the Coliseum following the game, which will be against Kansas City. That's also the turn back the clock game against Kansas City Athletics on the 27th. So it should be a great day during the game and post game.
2-0 to Marcus Semien, who is flied out and struck out. Fastball. 3-0. You be the judge.
Well, that's kind of where the catcher held the target, and he hit it.
Yes, he did. So 3-1 now to Simeon. Hayes' bullpen is quiet. Sonny Gray has retired 8 in a row. And that one misses badly with a changeup. So Simeon gets the 2-out walk. And now we'll hit the top of the order. Billy Burns, who swings around to hit from the right side.
Billy Burns.
Burns is a right-handed hitter, 296. As a left-handed hitter, 323. So pretty good both ways. Tonight, 2 for 3. 2 singles, RBI, run scored, stolen base. So he continues to fill up the score sheet.
And kind of an igniter when the A's needed him. 3 runs in the first inning, started by Billy Burns, and of course in the second inning when he got an infield hit after the hustle by Brett Lawrie to single, go to second, go to third, scored on the infield hit.
Outfield very shallow, shaded toward right. Now, Billy Burns has been so hot that Bob Melvin can't really give him a day off. I mean, he has started 29 consecutive games in center field and in the leadoff spot.
And loving every minute of it. I mean, that's a position that he's learning more and more. A collision yesterday. Evidently lost his breath on a ball that was in right center. Neither he or Josh Reddick called for the ball. Both went after it.
Don't know when we'll see Coco Crisp again. It's going to be a while. Simeon with the lead, and the pitch to Burns is a loop foul down the right field line.
Well, we talked about the voting for the All-Stars, and Stephen Vogt, Josh Reddick, of course, Sonny Gray, outstanding season, but Billy Burns also finds himself in that picture as well. When you look at the numbers, he's hit a couple of home runs, driven in 13, but just everything he does with his speed and running down balls in the outfield. Think about Ben Zobrist going to the All-Star game as a utility player. He was with the Rays and made the team up because he played so many different positions. And in today's All-Star game, with so many player moves, like to have somebody who can play different positions. Ben Zobrist could do that.
Alvarez keeps a close eye on Simeon.
Now Melvin Upton, right center field, and they went after it, and I tell you, it was serious. Reddick had the wind knocked out of him a little bit as he was hit hard by Billy Burns. Burns, fortunately, he said it knocked the wind out of him, but he was able to recover quickly enough because Upton got to third and could have hit an inside the park home run had Burns not been able to retrieve the ball.
Little pop up, Pujols can't get it, and that's an infield hit. And Ray, you're the color analyst. I tell them what happened. You tell them how it happened, okay?
You make contact, and when you have the speed that Billy Burns has, anything can happen. And he made contact. Pujols holding Simeon. He couldn't get to it. And once he missed it, tried to barehand it. No chance for Giavotella. And Billy Burns, his third hit of the night, as Simeon looking back. And there's no chance. And that's Willie Keeler right there. Hit him where they ain't. And that's what he's been doing.
So another infield hit. He's got 3 tonight, 19 on the year. So now an RBI opportunity for Vogt. Vogt homered in the 5th.
Burns might catch Steve Gordon before the weekend's over.
Yeah.
It's going at this rate.
Fernando Salas, the right-hander, gets up. Shoemaker went 4+ innings.
Now Mike Scioscia, when Burns got this last infield hit scoring Brett Laurie, you could see that look on I can't believe it. Well, Mike knows speed, and he's had a club throughout his 16 years with the Angels that's had a lot of speed, and they had caused a lot of havoc for opposing teams, and so it's good to see the A's doing it themselves.
Vogt takes a bit outside. 1-1 the count. A little bit out.
Well, Jim Joyce moves when Iannetta moves. He just doesn't stay in one position, which enables him to see the outside corner a little easier, a little better.
So Semien at second, Burns at first. Lots of speed out there. That one's hit hard. Pujols can't get it, and it's down the right field line. 1 run scores. Here comes Burns. He's going to score. Vogt to second with a double. And that's 2 more runs for the A's, and they lead 7-2.
That's 2 more runs with 2 outs, and a 3-1 changeup to Semien started walking him. Stephen Vogt out in front just past Pujols. And the best part about watching this is Billy Burns running as the ball stayed down, but Billy Burns just turned on the afterburners, coasting in to score. And Stephen Vogt going for 2. Who would you rather have, Stephen Vogt or this guy running? You don't have to look at Billy Burns. You know he's going to score. And so 2 runs on a 2-run double by Stephen Vogt following the home run.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Stephen Vogt, a 2-run double, and it's now 7-2, the A's lead. Fernando Salas is the new pitcher.
Now batting left fielder, number 18, Ben Zobrist.
So Salas takes over for Alvarez. And he'll face Zobrist. 2 away. So a 2-out rally here in the 6th has netted the A's a couple of runs. Pitch to Zobrist is hit toward the shortstop, Ibar, who scoops it up, throws in time, side retired. Vogt, 2 more RBIs. He's got a homer, a double, and 3 RBIs tonight. The A's lead 7-2 after 6. Jeremy Giambi, a walk-off pinch hit single. It scores Jason Giambi. The A's win 13-12 in 10 innings, and at one point the A's were down in that game 8-1. Look at the faces. Ben Grieve, Terrence Long. So Gil Heredia in there. The good doctor.
Pretty good chance that everybody that you saw in that video are not. Nobody's here. Nobody's left.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, even if it happened last year or 2 years ago, maybe you could say that.
There's your breakdown. 9 groundouts, 2 flyouts, or 7 flyouts, or just a couple of strikeouts for Sonny Gray. But he's locked in now. He's retired 8 in a row as he faces Ibar, Giovatola, and Joyce. Ibar fouls it straight back. 1-1 the count. 99 pitches for Sonny Gray.
And I think Sonny's happy not to have as many strikeouts, because if he did, he probably wouldn't be pitching now, considering the number of pitches he threw in the first 2, which have got him at 43. So a lot of pitches for him early. But he settled down, and it's what you like to see. And that ERA that we've shown from the 4th inning on has been really that. Usually guys maybe struggle in the latter part of the time they're in there, but not Sonny Gray. He seems to find a way to get better.
Ibar takes a little low. 3-1. Maybe a little down, not a lot. Watch the front knee. Where does the ball cross the front knee? Yep, a little low. And that one misses inside, and it's a leadoff walk for Eric Ibar. All right, tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Most runs scored from the 7th inning on. The A's have scored the most. And that's not just the American League. That is all of baseball. I think what's happened there too, Ray, is the A's have had some innings where they score a bunch late, and they just kind of bust a game open.
Get it against the Rangers last homestand on the Thursday afternoon. Of course, did it big time on Wednesday against San Diego. And they scored so many that a position player came in.
Right. Alexi Amarista. He homered and he got an out. 1-0 pitch to Giovatola. That misses, and now it's 2-0. So Pomeranz getting ready. Giovatola has doubled in a run, and they got a sacrifice fly, so a couple of RBIs for him. He now has 24 on the year. There's that second inning that really got Sonny Gray. 32 pitches. And there's a strike to Giovatola. 2-1 the count. Matt Joyce to follow here in the top of the 7th inning. A's with 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. We got 10 hits. The Angels have just 3. And that's low, and now it's 3-1. The Mariners have extended their lead over the Astros. It's now 5-1 in the 6th inning up in Seattle. Mariners just split their 4-game series with the Giants. Delivery is up and in, and it's back-to-back walks to start the 7th inning. Well, you don't see Sonny Gray go back-to-back walks very often, and actually Kurt Young's going to come out. 107 pitches for Gray.
Now batting, number 20, Matt Joyce.
So Joyce, the left-handed hitter, steps in. Pomeranz looks to be ready out in the bullpen.
And no walks in his last start. Of course, you go back to the Texas start when he walked 7, struck out 10 in the 6 2/3 innings, which he's won that game. But I'd say, considering Joyce is the hitter, lefty here, then Iannetta, and then another lefty after him, and Navarro, the top of the batting order. Bob Melvin would like to get him through 7 if he can. And will have Monday off, so that might be factoring into this as well, the number of pitches, and probably getting an extra day. He's off Monday, Rangers for 3, and then it's straight through pretty much the rest of the way.
Chris Iannetta, a right-handed hitter, will follow. And Joyce has himself a base hit to left field. They're going to wave home Ibar. The throw to the plate is late. Ibar scores. It's 7-3. Still nobody out here in the 7th inning. Well, the Angels trying to make it interesting. And Matt Joyce with a soft single to left.
Kind of against the shift a little bit. As he's happy to make the contact, and off the end of the bat, kind of squibbed it to left field. You see the shift with the shortstop Simeon right in the spot where he normally would be playing, but I guess they figure that he is going to pull the ball, but boy, he's struggling now. I think for him to make contact, you never know where the ball's going to go.
So Joyce gets his 18th RBI, and here's Iannetta. First pitch to Iannetta is right there for a strike. Iannetta has hit a fly ball to right field, and he has grounded to short.
And that was a good pitch, not have the hitter swing, because that was a fastball, middle of the plate.
Roll just foul. Laurie backhands it, but he's in foul territory. So a quick 0-2 to Iannetta with Navarro, the leadoff man, waiting in the on-deck circle. Pomeranz ready, and now Mahika, just came off the disabled list, just now starting to throw. And the Angels trying to make it interesting here in the 7th.
Yeah, 2 lefties to follow Iannetta. Nobody out in the innings to back the top field of Navarro and Calhoun. Again, that tough part of the batting order.
In the dirt, Iannetta did not swing, and that was close. Greg Gibson said no swing. And that's a swing.
That is a swing. Good block by Stephen Vogt, and that took a little bit extra time. It might have hit Jim Joyce's shin guard, but I agree, that's a swing when the bat goes that far in the top of the bat.
One, two, base hit left field. They're going to hold up Giovitella. So the missed swing call by Greg Gibson hurts the A's. Certainly looked like he went around. But now the bases are loaded, nobody out. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Get your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. 6+ innings. A tough 7th inning. He walked 2 and gave up 2 hits. And so now he's going to have to sit back and hope the A's bullpen can slow down the Angels, who are gaining some momentum here in the 7th inning. The bases loaded and nobody out.
He's not happy about something, and when he came off the mound, you could see that. And now talking to John Doolittle.
So Pomeranz comes in, the lefty. Mike Scioscia is going to counter with a right-handed hitter. It's Daniel Robertson. So Efrain Navarro is out, and Robertson will hit. So here's Robertson. First pitch is right there for a strike. Robertson 2 for 5 on the year. Giovitella at third, Joyce at second, Iannetta at first. Big curve stays outside, so 1-1 is the count. And you know, Ray, the thing now is Calhoun, Trout, Pujols.
Right.
That's what's coming up after Robertson. So that's why this inning is starting to get a little scary.
On the bottom of the batting order, getting on base, turning it over to the top, and it's usually a problem that a team, a pitcher has to deal with.
So inherited runners this year. Pomeranz 5 for 6, so he's done a good job there.
As he said, he can air it out, and it's what he's doing right now. Good fastball that he can throw. He can use it both sides of the plate. Good knuckle curveball.
1-2 pitch, foul back. A fastball that Vogt wanted in, and it kind of hung out over the plate. And there's the big fellas waiting. Calhoun will be next. Vogt asks for time. See Jim Joyce, don't play umpire, point at Vogt, just to let everybody know that where the timeout came from. 1-2 to Daniel Robertson, hitting for Navarro. In the dirt, blocked by Vogt.
He called the knuckle curve. He said, "You throw it, I'll block it," and he does a good job of doing that and kind of anticipate. That's why you turn the glove, block the middle part. He had a ball that stuck through him that hit Jim Joyce's leg to help him. With the ball close to him.
Two pitch, way high, and now 3-2. No place to put Robertson. Mahika loose and ready, the right-hander out in the A's bullpen. The Angels bullpen is quiet. And it's low, and he walked in a run. So Pomeranz was ahead in the count. Ends up walking in a run. Giovitella scores 7-4. Still nobody out.
Now batting, number 56, Cole Calhoun.
So now it's Calhoun.
Well, for Sonny Gray, 3 walks and all 3 have scored, and that's not normal for Sonny Gray. But of course, the pitch count got him up to finish out 113. Well, you don't have to hold anything back because you figure Calhoun is Pomeranz, and then Mahika comes in for the right-handers. At least 3 right-handers in succession.
First pitch to Calhoun. That knuckle curve is low, and it's 1-0. Calhoun has grounded out, struck out, and flied out. Swing and a miss. 93 miles an hour. Pomeranz challenged him, and Calhoun swung and missed.
Outside target, fastball in a pretty good hitting zone, and really kind of happy he didn't make contact.
With a big swing like that,
yeah.
You're right.
Similar pitch that he hit for the solo home run in the 8th inning on Saturday.
And then he took a strike with a fastball right there. So now it's 1-2.
And a better location this time, outside corner. And Edward Mujica's in the dugout, and the bullpen saying, I got Trout and Pujols. And that is what he's going to be coming in to face, and that's who he's going to be facing. But first and foremost, this is a big out.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Calhoun chased a ball that was just a little bit up. And a big first out.
Elevated, maybe unintentionally, but it worked to stay with the fastball after missing with the first pitch curveball and just blew fastballs by him. Go get him, Edward.
That's right. Mr. Mujica, meet Mr. Trout with the bases loaded. We'll be back. I'm not sure what this is all about, but this is when Giovatello scored, talking to Calhoun. Okay, fine, go get him. But now this is what happened after Calhoun struck out. Check this out. And that was not a go get him either right there. Interesting. Don't know what it's all about, but Calhoun not happy. I don't think it was Johnny Giovatello's fault. That's beside the point. Yeah. Anyways, bases loaded, 1 out for Trout. First pitch is a strike from Edward Mujica.
Interesting. Well, one of 2 players activated prior to tonight's ball game. Ike Davis at first. Edward Mujica, his guy from the Boston Red Sox.
Outside to Trout.
Fortunately, had a ground ball back to him in Detroit and fractured his thumb.
Trevor Gott. Right-hander up. Trout is 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, flyout, ground out. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Mujica. Off speed.
Kind of a changed split that he throws, and a good one. More of a split, and as he threw it with the Red Sox, and it's a very good off-speed pitch, especially with the movement down, and that's his go-to pitch. Jim Joyce is not going to have anything to do with staying behind home plate when he gives time out. And I don't blame him. Now he's waiting to make sure Trout gets set. He wants to work quickly.
1-2 pitch. That was that splitter again, but this one hung up there.
And I said Detroit, it was Tampa when the ball came back and had it hit off his thumb. Remarkably, he threw out the hitter. And evidently there was a lot of blood on the baseball, but he got the job done anyway. Did go on the disabled list.
Pujols waits in the on-deck circle. And that one's lined to left. Zobrist reaches up, and it's off his glove. 1 run scores. All the runners will move up 90 feet, and it's 7-5. See what the ruling is. It was a very hard hit ball, but Zobrist had a beat on it.
Yeah, he did, and went to his right. Sac fly E7, and might have knuckled him right at the last inning. I mean, the thing is, Trout hits everything hard. So he gets a sac fly, and it's E, so he basically no time at bat for for Trout, but unfortunately it does reach base.
And he gets an RBI as well.
Does, yeah.
So that's RBI number 41. 3 runs in, 7-5, still only 1 out. First pitch to Pujols is hit foul, and that was that splitter from Mejica.
Well, the 8th inning has been a tough inning for the Athletics, but we're just in the 7th.
Well, we got more. It all started with back-to-back walks to Ibar and Giovitella.
Well, the A's are hoping for a ground ball now, trying to get a ground ball to get a double play to get out of the inning.
Inside, 1-1 to Pujols. Pujols has hit a fly ball to right. He's reached on an air, and he is grounded back to the pitcher. Pujols has been a very hot hitter as of late. He's got 11 home runs in his last 21 games. And that one is belted down the left field line. Gone. A grand slam for Pujols, and the Angels lead 9-7. You will not see a harder hit baseball than the one Pujols just hit.
Well, they did not have a chance to hook either. Just hoped that he would hook it and it would go foul, and it did not. And it was a hanger, and it was gone in a heartbeat. I mean, that was swung on and gone. You hang one to a hot hitter, unfortunately that's the result. And just down the line, it would not hook, just over the 330 and go.
So here's Freese. The Angels have batted around. Freese with a big swing and a miss. So 13th career grand slam for Albert Pujols. So 7 runs have scored here in the 7th inning. Jim Joyce is looking inside the dugout of the Angels and don't know what's going on there. They've just scored 7 runs. Don't know what they could be complaining about.
Maybe one of the pitches was called a strike they didn't like.
Cole Calhoun's not mad anymore. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, 90 miles an hour. So that's 2 outs here in the 7th. And Ibar hits for the 2nd time. Freese is still talking to Jim Joyce.
Yeah, there must have been a pitch that he didn't like that was called a strike, and because he heard it from the dugout, and then Freese
Now batting,
was
number 2, Eric.
I guess upset with one of them.
First pitch to Ibar is popped up. It'll reach the seats.
Well, you can look at this game and you're going to see one thing that stands out, and the A's pitchers have given up 4 walks and all 4 have scored. And that's the unfortunate thing, because of course the home run.
But you know what, too, Ray, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but 2 errors and they both scored.
That's true,
because the play in left field was technically an error. Mahika grabs it. His throw is going to be another error as it rolls all the way down toward the bullpen. Ibar is going to round second, and he's going to take a big turn. He's going to stop there. So it'll be a single and an E1, and that'll be the 3rd error of the night by the Athletics.
And it's the Ibar bunt, and he's got the speed, pushes it. Actually, Mahika was the only one to handle, and no chance for Ike Davis as the ball was thrown into him, or into the runner. Unfortunately, well, Ibar only needed to get in a scoring position, which he does by getting to second base. And the good news, this is just the 7th inning.
So Giovitella will hit. He walked and scored earlier. So Bob Melvin's coming out. Scribner is warming up. So Mahika faced 4 hitters. Giving Scribner a little extra time, and now he has made the call. So Mahika, tough outing for him. Scribner coming in, 2 outs here in the 7th inning. So the Angels now leading 9-7.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Gentlemen on the right, Albert Pujols, a grand slam. All part of a 7-run Angels 7th inning, and they're still batting. New pitcher for the A's is Scribner. This is the 4th pitcher the A's have used in this 7th inning. Gray started it, Pomeranz, Mahika, and now Scribner. He's trying to figure out how to get that 3rd out. So he'll face Giovitella. Ibar is the runner at 2nd. Curve and a big swing and a miss by Giovitella. There's been 4 hits in the inning. There's been 3 walks. There's been an error. They get 2 errors and a couple of strikeouts. A crazy, ugly inning for the Athletics.
Well, the ball that Zobrist dropped, of course, put Trout on via the air sacrifice, but that would have been a 3-run home run. It's 8-7. But still, I mean, it is just the 7th inning, and it's something the A's have had to deal with. But they have a 7-2 lead. That's the tough part, to have a 5-run lead, and the 7th inning, you now have to try to come back down by 2.
1-2 pitch is sliced down the right field line, but foul. Giovitella tonight. Double in a run in the second, had a sacrifice fly in the fourth. Walked and scored in the seventh, so he's had a very good night offensively. Ibar runs, Scribner throws to third, and Laurie dropped it. So they had Ibar. So it's going to go as a caught stealing, but safe on an E5. Third error of the inning. Fourth error of the night.
But he looked up and I think saw Ibar, took his eye off the ball, and of course they knew he was stealing. And with 2 outs, you wonder why. But I guess 2 outs, you can score an infield hit like Billy Burns got way back a while back. 3 errors in the inning. Wow.
Two to Giovitella. Up the middle, base hit. And Ibar comes in to score. It's 10-7, the Angels lead, and Giovitella has 3 RBIs.
Wow.
He's got 9 RBIs against the A's this year.
Now the high fastball, similar to the one that he hit with a double back in the first or the second inning, first at bat.
Matt Joyce.
So the inning continues as Matt Joyce will hit. He is the 12th man to bat in this inning. And he swings and misses.
And he got a base hit to left field on a ball off the end of the bat.
The only hit for Joyce in the game. And now the count 1-1. So Mojica allows 3 runs in a third of an inning.
In this inning, the error by Mojica put Ibar at second. He was going to beat out the infielder of the ball anyway.
Yep.
But the other two, basically the Angels are getting 5 outs in this inning. Drop fly left and the ball at third. So while it's an ugly inning, it's that way for a number of reasons, and you had that many errors in an inning, doesn't help.
Laurie hustling over, be careful on the mound, and he makes the catch and falls down. He pops back up, so he's all right. And finally the inning comes to an end. So 8 runs scored by the Angels. They lead 10-7.
Butler Country Breakfast Bowl. 15,000 fans will pick up the bowl courtesy of Xfinity Sunday, June the 28th, when the A's play host to the Kansas City Royals. Get your tickets today by calling 877-493-BALL or logging on to athletics.com/tickets.
So now work to do for the A's. They trail 10-7, 10-8-0 for the Angels, 7-10-4 for the A's. But they do get 3 more shots at Angels bullpen. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. As Trevor Gott comes in, it's his 3rd appearance for the young right-hander, Trevor Gott. So it's been Shoemaker, Alvarez, Salas, and Gott. Gott made his Major League debut last Sunday against the A's. Game the A's won. Pitched an inning. So Daniel Robertson stays in the game. He's in left field. And the first pitch to Reddick is in for a strike. A lot of movement on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Eric O'Flaherty loosening up, and Reddick chased the pitch in the dirt, and it's a quick 0-2. Butler to follow, and then Davis here in the 7th inning.
Fernando Salas comes in, throws 1 pitch.
That's right.
Scored me a couple of runs, guys. They did.
Sitting on a W. Diving play by Freese. He gets up, he throws, and they get Reddick.
Well, there's your shift, and that time Freese got to it, and good job by Reddick trying to go to the opposite field with the shift on, but just past the dive. Actually, the dive couldn't get it past the dive Freese. And well, you see all that space over there, and actually Ibar's positioning at shortstop is where the ball was hit. It's incredible. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Joyce hit a ball that in the shortstop spot ends up being a base hit. That one ends up being an out for Reddick.
So Butler steps in. He's 1 for 3. Curve and a good one. So Gott, he's not messing around, throwing strikes. And that one very close, 96 miles an hour, but just a little bit on the outside. Close pitch again. 97. Right, Davis to follow. That one not close.
Top 2 of the batting order for the Athletics have done the damage tonight. Right now, the middle part of the batting order for the Angels. The bottom part of the order is set it up top of the inning for all the damage.
Giovatella grabs it, and that's the 2nd out. So 96-mile-an-hour fastball, kind of running in a little bit on Butler. So 2 away for Ike Davis. Ike Davis has grounded out 3 times.
First baseman, number 17, Ike Davis.
Grounded out 3rd and a couple times to 2nd. Mariners still leading the Astros 5-2. That game now in the 8th inning. First pitch, sinker away, and sinker with a lot of velocity. That one is a strike. Alvarez went an inning and 2/3 before Salas took over. Of course, the Angels have kind of a built-in 8th and 9th situation with Joe Smith and Houston Street. Keeping a close eye on what's going on Houston Street. 3-1 now to Davis.
Well, he didn't pitch last Sunday in the game that Sonny Gray started. Of course, he pitched 3 consecutive days. Had Street, picked up saves, but had the Monday off or the Sunday off. But this game, he might be in the game.
So 3-2 to Ike Davis. And he hits it hard into center field, and that's a base hit. So 2-out single. And that is hit number 11 for the A's.
Got the fastball this time, and of course it rolled over on some from Shoemaker, but the fastball, good swing by Ike Davis, split the gap up the middle, and even with the shift, beat it.
So here's Laurie, who's 2 for 3, 2 singles, a strikeout, and a run scored. And he hits this one down the right field line, but foul. A's have stranded 5 through the first 6 innings. Runs have not been the problem.
No.
Big curve, and it's called a strike. So that's the first time we saw this pitch from Doc.
Now they threw the one to Butler that was way outside, but this one more of one that he threw to buckle the knees, and looked like trying to get him to Butler to chase one. This one, though, a very good curveball.
And the pitch, strike 3 call. Laurie can't believe it, and that's how the bottom of the 7th comes to an end. 8th inning coming up. Angels 10 and the A's 7.
One Class A DVR and the X1 operating system allows.
Sports Service is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
I'm still trying to catch up on my scorecard.
Yeah, well, 8 runs, 5. Well, I don't know how many earned, but
I don't even know.
I
don't care.
It's an 8.
I don't care.
I don't know. It's an A spot, regardless of how many earned or under, and they scored 8 runs.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Eric O'Flaherty comes in.
I will say this, Cap, did not think this at bat by Iannetta on a check swing called a ball when he got a base hit, we would be talking about it. But basically, there's another out they got that should have been recorded as a strikeout. That a legitimate hit, as was a base hit last inning. But it was following a check swing that Greg Gibson said did not swing, and he did, clearly on the replay. So he got another chance, got a base hit, and that's where we stand. And here's the check swing, and again, these are always tough, but that's a swing, especially when the bat goes that far. He brings it back, but it's not where he called it there, which he probably did. It's where it crossed the plate. So again, just one of many things that happened in an ugly 7th inning in which 8 runs scored, but too many errors, too many walks, and A's trail.
Bunt attempt by Daniel Robertson rolls foul. So O'Flaherty facing Robertson. And the Angels probably thinking, hey, we can add one more.
That's right.
Perfect.
That's right.
Pulls the bat back, pitches low, 1-1 the count.
And this guy pinch hitting. Saw him when we were in Boston. He's playing for Salt Lake City.
That's right.
Played for the Rangers last year. Robertson did. Played well. Angels, and saw a lot of guys on that game, Salt Lake against
You love that game.
Well, I mean, I just said all these players that now the A's and Angels are playing, and said, wait a minute, these guys are all playing in Nashville. That's flipping between the Warriors, and they were playing the Cavs.
I wish I would have seen that game now.
You'd be familiar with all these players.
Right.
I mean, since then, we've seen C.J. Cron, Robertson, and Arnold Leon was there. Guys are still there, as a matter of fact. Venditti, saw him after. Actually, he joined the team in Boston. Came from Nashville.
2-1 the count to Robertson. A long look down. Laurie in on the grass. Davis ready to bust in. The ball is bunted. Foul. So now it's 2-2, and then it's a decision time for the manager. Do you keep the bunt on with 2 strikes? Don't really know what the holdup is right now.
Ball in right field.
Right.
Joe Smith there mailed one, I guess. And when the right fielder has to run 100 yards to retrieve it, it takes a little bit extra time, I guess. But Reddick playing very shallow in right field. The ball ended up at the wall.
No swing, says Greg Gibson. So 3-2 the count.
Might as well keep checking, Steven, and maybe you get one. That one, a lot of body, but not that.
3-2 pitch. Bounced towards Sogard. Out at second, and that's a double play. 4-6-3, 2 outs.
Nice double play turn by the Athletics and Sogard. A nice quick flip and very close to Semien. Almost the point may have taken it himself, but backhand flip. But there you're getting some familiarity between Sogard and Semien that Marcus now expecting some of these plays by Sogard. And he's able to turn it nicely. And I think that's just a matter of a couple of guys playing well up the middle. And where Zobrist at times is playing some second base. Semien at short. And with Andy Perino, DFA, that means that Sogard can play short if Semien needs a day off. Right now, these guys are playing well up the middle.
0 for 4 tonight for Cole Calhoun. He's the only Angel that has not been on base Mike Davis has it. O'Flaherty's going to have to hustle, and he beats Calhoun to the bag. Side retired. Bottom of the 8th coming up from the Coliseum. It'll be Sogard, Simeon, and Burns. 10-7 Angels lead. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 10-9-0 for the Angels, 7-11-4 for the Athletics, and we highlighted that one number because, well, that's pretty much the story of the game. An 8-run 7th inning. Pujols was part of that. He had a grand slam, and that gave the Angels the lead in that 7th inning. So Sonny Gray ends up, when it's all said and done, giving up 5 earned runs in 6+ innings. So bottom of the 8th, Sogard to lead it off. And that's Joe Smith, the setup man for the Angels. He signed him to a big free agent contract last year. And this is year 2 of a 3-year contract. And he's very good. 2-2, 3.04 ERA. He's very good, but the A's have had some success against him the last year and a half, especially last year. He had some tough outings against the Athletics, and then you looked at his statistics and you realized that he really wasn't having a whole lot of tough outings against other teams, but for some reason the A's just had good success against him. Taylor Featherston is the new second baseman. Giovitella out. 1-1 the count to Joe Smith, who spent quite a bit of time with the Cleveland Indians. Indians decided not to sign him when he was a free agent. The Angels jumped on him. He's one of those guys, Ray, where the fastball, if you're a left-handed hitter, the fastball sinks away, and the slider breaks in, and it's just a matter of you got to guess right.
And just the opposite for a right-hander. And of course, it could go back door over the two-seamer, and then the slider away or front door.
Good pitch there. Pitcher catcher thought it was a strike. 2-2 the count.
Good appeal to first base.
Why not? Went in there again and just missed. So Smith determined to get a strike called on that inside corner. Slices it foul.
Well, Sogard had to know he's going to go back outside with a two-seam fastball, 3-run lead. They want to take a chance of slider. All fastballs to Sogard. And I would think he was going to get another one with the outside. Probably could throw it down the middle of the plate, take the movement to the outside corner instead of starting it on the corner.
Way outside, and he walked him. Not even close. So third walk issued by Angels pitchers tonight. Smith is the fifth Angels pitcher tonight. And here's Marcus Semien, who walked and scored in the sixth. He's also struck out and hit a fly ball to right field. And the first pitch, sinker for a strike.
Fernando up again as he was last inning. So Fernando Rodriguez.
Bounced right back to Smith. Spins, fires to second. A strike there. Back to first. Double play. 1-4-3 on the double play. And a double play that's maybe not as easy as it looks. The pitcher needs to throw a strike to who's ever covering at second base, and Smith did.
And he's through to second the same way he throws the plate, although it's a four-seamer to Featherston at second base. So it's a matter of knowing who is going to be covering. Sogard gets down, try to upend him a little bit. But the key there is to get down. You don't want to take one of the chest or the face.
Here's the top of the order and Billy Burns. That one sails to the backstop. What a night for Burns. 3 for 4, 3 infield hits, an RBI, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base.
And Matt Shoemaker said, I don't care because I got a no decision. Because that's exactly what happened. Tough night for him. He leaves trailing 5-2. The A's just kept adding on every time the Angels scored a run, but when they added the extra 2.
This one toward left. Robertson has to hustle back. He was playing very shallow, but he makes the catch. Side retired. Ninth inning coming up. It's the Angels 10 and the Athletics 7.
Your attention, please.
Post game for the A team. Our broadcasters Vince Cotroneo, Ray Fosse, Roxy Bernstein, and myself. We're going to get together and have an unscripted roundtable discussion about tonight's game. We'll probably end up talking about that 8-run inning. And we're not happy about it. It's only on A's Post Game Live and 95.7 the game after the game. Those two gentlemen right there, they will slide over into the TV booth. And we will, as we like to say, in A's broadcaster land, we're going to break it down, Ray.
And we'll just turn it over to Roxy. Try to see what we knew.
We'll just give our 2 cents worth. That one's toward the gap, and nobody's going to get it. So Mike Trout with a double to right center field. Well, that's the first hit of the night for Trout. He's going the other way against O'Flaherty, and we said it before, Ray. He is a serious low ball hitter.
Yeah. That's his swing, and that path that he takes is in that direction. And usually when he hits a ball like that, while it's slicing, you think the guys have a chance to get to it. No way. So for Trot, 18 home runs, 16 doubles, and I'd say Cincinnati is going to be his home for the All-Star game against this year.
I think he's going to get invited. He may even join the Kansas City Royals in the starting lineup. We'll see if the Royals are kind enough to let another player in that lineup.
It is a save situation now, and if Houston Street continues to throw, he may come in the game regardless of what the Angels do in this half inning.
So 1-1 to Pujols, a grand slam in the 7th inning. He shoots that one fair right down the right field line. Trout will come in to score. Pujols hustling into second. And Albert Pujols has a double, and he's got 5 RBIs tonight, and it's an 11-7 lead.
What was that? Look to left, hit to right?
Yep.
Big swing, and
number 6, David Freese.
I guess when you can pull a ball down the left field line for a grand slam, it took about a half second to get to the barbecue terrace for a slam, and then cue a ball to left right field. Pretty good hitter. Albert Pujols has shown that.
So with his 5 RBIs tonight, he now has 1,645, 7 away from Tony Perez. And this is David Freese, who takes inside, 2-0. The Mariners won that game up in Seattle 5-2 over the Astros. Elias beat McCullers. And Carson Smith got his 4th save. Springer and Gonzalez homer. Nope.
You know, it's going to be disappointing for the A's if they don't come back and win this game. Remember, the Astros lost, what, 5 or 6 in a row, something like that. The A's kept losing themselves.
Yep, that's right.
Had a chance to get 6, 7 games really at the time, and if they had won, behind in the standings. And granted, it's still been under 500 considerably.
Sogard throws out Freese with Pujols going to third. And the one team that did take advantage of that, Ray, was the Rangers.
Absolutely. Yeah, put a big winning streak, and 6 over 500 right now. Understands they will pick up a game tonight.
Yeah, they're now 2.5 back, the Rangers.
Ibar.
So Houston loses, Rangers win, Seattle wins. Seattle now 31-37. They're 8.5 back. Ibar steps up with the infield in. Cesar Ramos, a left-hander, now joins Houston Street. Street is pretty much finished warming up.
And Don Baylor in the middle of Mike Socha and Dino Ebel.
And that's a fair ball. Again, right over the bag down the first base line. Pujols will score, and Ibar will have a double. 3 doubles here in the 9th inning, and the Angels have added 2. Mike Davis is saying, what the heck is going on?
Nothing he can do about it. Kurt Young's going to visit with O'Flaherty, but outside, and really kind of the magic wand center right now for the Angels. But it's kind of reminiscent of what the Angels did in the second half last year, where everything they did turned into success for the team, and they just ran away with the division. And they ran up against a hot Kansas City Royals team, but they just flew by the Athletics, especially head-to-head games. And look at this game with the A's 7-2, and now the A's have not scored since scoring their 7, and they trail by 5.
And the Angels last year, 98-64. So Abad starts to loosen. So here's Featherston, his first at bat. Like last year, Ray, the Angels tied the A's for first place on August 16th. And that was it. They rolled the rest of the way and ended up winning the division by 10 games over the A's last year. Bounced off the plate and then rolling foul. So 1-1 to Featherston. Featherston came in for defense last inning. And Flaherty misses inside, 87 miles an hour, so 2-1 the count. It's been Gray, Pomeranz, Mahika, Scribner, and O'Flaherty. In first strike. Don't think I missed anybody in there.
No.
Again, and now the count 3-2. Matt Joyce will be next. One away and a couple of runs in here in the top of the 9th inning. And another pitch that misses on 3-2, and it's a walk. Fifth walk issued by A's pitchers, and Bob Melvin has seen enough of Eric O'Flaherty. So O'Flaherty faces 5 hitters, retires 1, and Abad is coming in. We'll be back. Join us tomorrow as game 2 of this 3-game series will come your way. We'll have it for you at 12:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. It'll be Weaver and Hahn. So the veteran Jared Weaver against the youngster Jesse Hahn. The home of A's baseball is Comcast Sportsnet. Again, 12:30 with A's pregame live, 105 first pitch. Day baseball from the Coliseum. So Abad comes in. He's making his 27th appearance. And he'll face Matt Joyce, the left-hander. 1 away. There's been 3 doubles and a walk and 2 runs scored in this inning. First pitch slider is outside. Matt Joyce is 1 for 4. And an RBI single in that 7th inning when the Angels scored 8 times. And now it's 2-0. Well, tonight is not going to be a good night for the bullpen ERA, which is already not very good.
It's not going to be a good night also for Bob Melvin to have to talk to the press.
No.
A nice 4-game winning streak and start to play better baseball, and then all of a sudden explosion, especially in a game like tonight. But you can build a lot of confidence for the weekend against the Angels, and with the Rangers coming up and the Royals, and a good way to start 9 very tough games, not to mention those to follow after that. But
and the 3-0 pitch is high, and it's another walk. 6th walk by his pitchers tonight.
Now batting, number 17.
So now Iannetta will hit for the 5th time. He's 2 for 4. 12 hits for the Angels, 11 hits for the A's. And Abad gets a swinging strike from Iannetta.
after a 4-pitch walk, Iannetta was going for the slam. He was not waiting around to get a strike.
Let her rip.
Yeah.
Slider down and in. These have made 4 errors tonight.
Stephen Vogt said, let's go through these signs again, because I think there was not long ago 3 consecutive cross-ups.
Change up, and Iannetta missed it by a lot.
All that shaking finally gave to this pitch, and way outside, Iannetta swinging at what he thought was a fastball, and ended up being a changeup, not close.
So 1-2. Another changeup and a good one, and Iannetta swings and misses.
Well, back-to-back changeups. You get a swing like that previous one on a pitch outside, you might as well go back to it and keep throwing it. It's a good pitch.
Daniel Robertson.
So now back to the top of the order, and Daniel Robertson
came in to pinch hit in the 7th inning. He's 3rd at bat.
Yeah, that's not good. Robertson walked with the bases loaded in that 7th, and then in the 8th hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Looks like Cesar Ramos, the left-hander, will be the pitcher in the bottom of the 9th for the Angels. It'll be Vogt, Zobrist, and Reddick. And Papa just over top of the Angels dugout. It's a good chunk of the crowd of over 25,000 tonight sticking around for the fireworks after the game. They say, Ray, start a game at 7:05, it'll end at 10:15. Start a game at 6:35, it'll end at 10:15. Or later.
I think later is, yeah. This might turn out to be one of the longest, if not the longest, game of the season. Not only that, the most disappointing. But, you know, the great thing about baseball, you can have one team scoring 8 runs in one inning, and maybe somebody can score 6 themselves.
That's right. You always, it's always fresh in your mind that it can be done.
It can be done. I mean, the Angels have proven that tonight. You put yourself in a hole. I mean, it's get something going, but you can't run out the clock. Eventually, you just have to get the outs.
And a 2-2 swing and a miss by Robertson. So Abad does a good job. A couple more runs for the Angels. Bottom of the ninth coming up. It's the Angels 12 and the A's 7.
Prince Albert, King Albert, whatever. Albert Pujols has had a night with a hanging splitter, a bullet down the left field line. That was a grand slam, his 13th career grand slam. Albert Pujols with a bullet. Of course, that would give the Angels the lead, but they've also added on, including another double by Pujols. 5 driven in tonight of the 12 scored by the Angels through 9 innings.
So Cesar Ramos is the new pitcher for the Angels, the left-hander. He is the 6th pitcher of the night for the Angels. So he'll face Vogt. First pitch is a fastball that's high. Vogt, he's had a good game. It's kind of gone by the wayside at this point, but he's homered, he's doubled, he's got 3 RBIs, he scored a couple of runs.
And I think there are a lot of people saying Stephen Vogt hit the 2-run double with 2 outs. That was after a couple of strikeouts by Alvarez. And then Stephen comes up with a 2-run double, a walk, single, 2-run double. At that time, Sonny Gray on the mound, 7-2 lead. Take it to the house.
Life was good at that point. Sonny Gray went back out there to start the top of the 7th with that 7-2 lead. He walked the first 2 guys, and that really got the inning started. And the A's just could not shut the door in that inning. This one hit to shallow left. Robertson in. The shortstop Ibar will be the guy who ends up taking it, and that's the first down. So one away, and Zobrist will hit from the right side. Zobrist homered way back in the first inning. It was a 3-run shot.
Things look good then, too.
Yes, they did.
Matter of fact, they looked great in the first inning. Single, walk, 3-run home run, 3-0 lead. Wow.
Zobrist also doubled in the 5th, so we've got a couple of hits. 2-0 the count with Reddick to follow. 11 hits for the Athletics. They've had a base runner, at least one base runner in every inning. Two and one the count. And home run by Zobrist in the first was his 4th home run this year. Now has 24 RBIs. And the count is even at 2-2. Everything's final in all around baseball, except for the Giants and Dodgers are still playing down in Los Angeles. The 2 Northern California teams playing the 2 Southern California teams this weekend. And there's a liner. What a play by Featherston. Gets up, throws to first, and they got him. Terrific play by Taylor Featherston for the 2nd out.
I wonder why he came in a game, but he's played very well defensively. Trying a double play, and this ball is slicing away from him. Nice angle to dive, knocked it down quickly through to first base, and Ron bends Zobrist of another hit. It's an outstanding play, and almost had it in his glove, able to reach it, and I guess things are just rolling the right way right now for the Angels. That rolled right into the hand of Featherston and made a nice play.
2 outs for Reddick. First pitch is in for a strike. I thought the same thing, Ray. If that ball rolls anywhere else, it's probably a hit for Zobrist, but it rolled right to his throwing hand side, and he just picked it up. That was a heck of a play. Slider, strike 2 call, and Reddick's now got a battle. Reddick is 0 for 4. He's grounded out twice, struck out, and flied out. And a big curveball is looped into shallow left field, and it's Robertson who dives, and maybe that is the way the game should end. A great play by Daniel Robertson, and a very, very disappointing finish to the game tonight as the Angels come back and defeat the Athletics. It took 3 hours and 38 minutes. It was played in front of 25,528. Angels win it 12-7 over the Athletics. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Brody Brazil and Shooty Babbitt starts right now.